Gavin Newsom, honoured guests, I'm Ann Burrows.
How are you doing, everybody? Check in, check in, check in. Good morning, afternoon.
It's such an honour
Hello.
to welcome you all to the museum.
What up, Danky? Hello.
To welcome you to the National Centre for the Preservation of Democracy. And it's the place where we gather people together to talk about difficult issues, issues that relate to race, identity, social justice, and the fragility of democracy. And I should add that it's no accident that the museum and the Democracy Centre were built on this very site.
Hello.
Because this is where, in 1942, LA's Japanese American families were forced to board the buses that took them to the incarceration camps for the duration of the war. So for us here at the museum, this is hallowed ground. For us here at the Democracy Centre, this is the ground zero point, one of the ground zero points in the civil rights history of this country. And we should note
What up,
that what
Doms?
happened in 1942 is not much different from what is happening now as ICE is stalking the streets of our city and the terror that ICE is inflicting on our sisters and brothers in the immigrant communities.
Boo!
So it's this. Thank you. So it's the power of this place that drives our mission here at the Democracy Centre, which is to ensure that the injustices of the past are never repeated.
Hello, Forrest Ritchie. How you doing?
Against authoritarianism, and to defend the principles that define a free and just society. The centre, this Democracy Centre, for us is a beacon for democracy, for civil rights, and for memory, because it's our living commitment to ensure that we will not reverse course on our nation's journey towards a more just and equitable future. Thank you. It's my very great honor to welcome to the stage Sarah Sadwani, who is from the California Redistricting Commission. Thank you.
Share the stream if you guys could. Good morning, good afternoon. We got a California event here.
Thank you, Ann, and thank you for hosting us here today in this most historic site. My name is Sarah Sadwani. I'm a political science professor, and I served as a commissioner on the California Citizens Redistricting Commission. In 2020, I had the distinct honor of being selected through a lottery draw. I'm not an elected official. I believe in good governance. And to serve on the California Citizens Redistricting Commission was one of the proudest moments of my life. I had the opportunity to serve with some of the finest Californians. No disrespect to those. Democrats, Republicans, Independents, we came together and we did what we don't find very often in American politics today. We passed our maps unanimously. We worked collaboratively across the aisle to move forward something that could be fair and just for Californians. And I couldn't be more proud of the districts and the maps that we have today.
Toyota, thank you.
They're competitive. Some of the most competitive seats in the nation. Probably some of you here don't love that, but on balance, for democracy, that's a good thing. It's the kind of thing we should have in all 50 states across this country. We used a community-driven approach. We received almost 40,000 pieces of community testimony from California.
Thank you, Linda, for being a member. Thank you.
And we expanded opportunities for communities of color, communities that have long been historically excluded at the ballot box, for Latinos, for Asian Americans, and for Black Americans to elect the candidates of their choice. But these are extraordinary times, and extraordinary times call for extraordinary measures.
Finally.
We have witnessed masked gunmen kidnapping our neighbors off the streets, and my understanding is they're outside waiting to do it again.
Yep.
We have seen not just the toleration of political violence, but the encouragement of it on January 6th against nonpartisan election officials and the deployment of the National Guard in our cities, turning our cities into police states. And if that wasn't enough, we are watching executive overreach that no doubt is making our founding fathers turn in their graves. And we have to take action. These are the hallmarks of a democracy in peril. My political science colleagues, Stephen Levitsky and Daniel Ziblatt, who authored a very famous book at this point, How Democracies Die, wrote, "Protecting democracy requires more than fright and outrage. We must be humble and we must be bold." I'm here today to be humble, to set aside the good work of California, but I do so with the expectation that this is a one-time occurrence, that this does not subvert the will of the people of California. And I call upon these many leaders who have joined here today to be bold, to fight for American democracy, to not just pass maps for 2026, but to fight for independent redistricting in all 50 states so that we can level the playing field.
Everybody check in. So Governor Newsom's fighting against the GOP's gerrymandering in Texas.
And now we'll hear from Jody Hicks.
It'll likely happen also in Chicago, and Kathy Hochul in New York is talking about it.
Wow, thank you so much. Thanks for having me here today.
Texas played stupid games.
I'm the president and CEO of Planned Parenthood Affiliates of California. So representing 7 affiliates, over 100 health centers throughout California, and standing here in the strongest of support of California's response to Texas, to any other state's attempt to rig this next election to hold on to power. And I want to tell you why. If you remember, it was not that long ago that this administration changed the rules to appoint anti-choice justices to the Supreme Court with the mission to overturn Roe. And that's what they did. 50 years of protections that women had are obliterated because of this Supreme Court. And what they tried to tell everyone is, it's okay, we're just putting the rights in the states. So California responded. This governor, these policymakers behind me, we responded. We doubled down on our values here in California, our commitment to reproductive freedom. Voters responded. Voters responded with a constitutional amendment here in California to protect reproductive freedom. To what was happening across the country by flipping congressional seats here in California, by kicking out those anti-abortion extremists in an attempt to flip the House. And despite that, despite the voices of the voters here in California, just 3 weeks ago, Congress, all 9 Republican Congress members here in California, voted to defund Planned Parenthood. They knew it would disproportionately target California because we have invested in improving access to reproductive health care, because those are our values here in California. Our health centers, there's over 100 of them, over 80% of them are Medicaid patients, our most vulnerable communities. And they didn't have the votes to do it.
Thank you, Sator. Release the files.
They did a backdoor ban, which is essentially putting economic sanctions on Planned Parenthood health centers for providing abortion. So what does that mean? No federal funds go to abortion services, so we're not talking about attacking the service. They described a Planned Parenthood health center, and they will no longer pay for all of the services that we provide. So we are talking about STI and cancer screenings. We are talking about birth control. We're talking about sometimes prenatal care, that they are taking away access, taking away the choice for those Medicaid patients to come to their most trusted place, which is Planned Parenthood. So what do they think the voters' response will be to that? I'll tell you what it'll be. It'll be you take away our freedoms.
Thank you, Lisa.
Take away your seats. We'll flip the house. They know that will be the response. But what are they going to do as a response to that? They're going to rig elections. They're going to rig elections in Texas, wherever they need to, in order to ensure that they have power. So
Who's Mercado, KP?
if Republicans are successful in consolidating power,
Appreciate that.
safeguarding their majority in Congress, a national abortion ban is not off the table. And while California voters, we enshrine the right to abortion in our California Constitution. But a federal ban would override our state's protections. And we can't let that happen. We can't sit idly by while the Trump administration, while their backers in Congress pursue every avenue to strip blue states of their autonomy, of people's fundamental rights. Republicans in Washington
Thanks, Steve.
across the country,
Appreciate that,
they
buddy.
continue to become more bold. They're more brazen, they're more cruel. And if we do not fight back, they will continue to seize unfettered power, defy the will of the people, and threaten the health and well-being of all of us. So 3 years ago, we stood before California voters and asked them to stand with us, to put protections in our California Constitution. And guess what? 67% of Californians did that. So today I'm standing before you again, asking those same Californians to once again protect reproductive freedom, protect the values of California, and stop Donald Trump. We have to fight back. It is the right thing to do. It's the necessary thing to do. And this is California. We don't have another choice. Thank you. And with that, it is my pleasure to introduce Erica Jones with the California Teachers Association.
This is like the first major, a fight back from the Democratic Party. That means something, I think.
Secretary-Treasurer of the
In California. Thank you, Nandast.
A union of 310,000 public school educators. I am also an elementary school teacher here in Los Angeles. The Trump administration is waging war on every public institution we hold dear.
Donald Trump is a pedophile, Rich. If you don't believe in that at this point, then it's your fault. It's your personal problem. Donald Trump was a close friend, best friend of Jeffrey Epstein. Routine the island often.
He's cut health care for millions of our students and their families.
It's done.
Dismantled the Department of Education and passed a voucher program designed to destroy public education entirely. There have also been unprecedented attacks on our immigrant communities and our LGBTQ+ students and families. The Trump administration removal of schools as safe zones from ICE has unleashed a level of trauma and fear that no one should have to endure, let alone our children. Just this week, a 15-year-old student here in Los Angeles was detained by federal agents outside Arleta High School. Our students deserve better. The majority of Americans are not with him on these vicious attacks. So
they
what
fixed
does
the mic.
Trump want to do? Rig the next election and steal our right to fair representation? He wants to stack the deck to keep slashing public services to pad the pockets of his billionaire donors? I taught my kindergartners to be kind and to help each other, not to cheat and be a bully. Y'all 5-year-olds get it. Why can't he? I'm here today because educators across California, from Calexico to Crescent City, are ready to fight back. We spent months reaching out to the 9 Republican representatives in California. Several refused to even meet with their local teachers in their offices. Some lied directly to our faces and promised they wouldn't vote for draconian cuts to our schools and our health care, only then to go back to D.C. and side with Trump and vote to harm our kids and our families here in California.
The big stupid bill.
Given these extreme threats and these corrupt politicians who will throw their own communities under the bus, our union stands in full support of this ballot initiative. We are ready to do whatever it takes to stop this power grab and fight back against any and all attacks on our democracy, on our students, and on public education.
I'll play after this, guys. I'll play a clip of a debate from Destiny. He just debated some MAGA freak. MAGA will tune out because they don't want to see themselves get embarrassed. But this dude got absolutely destroyed. This MAGA freak got destroyed by Destiny.
So,
again,
good morning. My name is Lorena Gonzalez. I am the president of the California Federation of Labor Unions, AFL-CIO, representing 2.3 million workers throughout the state, over 1,300 different local unions from every sector you can imagine. And we stand with our colleagues today in calling for a response. And I'm going to say that very clearly. This is not something we take lightly. We voted on this, and it was unanimous among our unions for one reason. We're not a partisan organization. A lot of people forget that. We have Democrats and Republicans. And we understand that some of our members even voted for Donald Trump. We understand that. They were told by him that he wanted to make us more safe, that he wanted to deport criminals. And instead, he's been deporting and targeting workers and grandmothers and children and dreamers. They were told, even our Republican members, that he was for working people, that somehow he cared about bringing manufacturing and jobs back to America and to make sure that working people were taken care of. And what has he done? He has systematically destroyed our federal government unions by abolishing basically collective bargaining agreements that were decades in the making. He has taken away the right to collectively bargain of every employee he possibly can, and that is not pro-worker. So we tell our members who
thank you, technical fool.
Him, it's okay. He fucking lied. We don't blame them, but we do tell them this. And they know this because they showed it in the last election. Even those who voted for Donald Trump in some of our reddest areas in the state said, we are going to send a check by voting for a Democrat to Congress. We had split ticket voting in a number of districts, and in fact, flipped 3 of those. That's what Donald Trump was afraid of. That's why he went to his lapdog in Texas and said, do something for me because they're about to come get a couple more. Yes, we were. But if he wants
1 second, keep listening. Be right back.
We're going to fight back. We are tired of lapdogs. We want people who are independent, not obedient. And it's time for us to show a little disobedience to Donald Trump. It's time for us to fight with everything we have, because if we care about working people, and I very much do, and I know the people behind me do, if we care about unions, the right to make better for your life, to work a hard day and be able to come home and afford a house, to put your kids through college, to put food on the table, if we care about this, then we have to fight and make sure elections are fair. We have to make sure that there is a check in Congress, and California can unilaterally do that. And we are proud to stand with our governor, Gavin Newsom, who is ready and asking us to fight back. We will fight back every single day, and we will go to every one of our members and every member of the public to remind them that if you care about your future, if you care about your kids' future, you have to recognize this. I don't care what your job is. I don't care what part of the state you live in. I don't care where you came from. You have more in common with an undocumented farm worker than you did with the fucking billionaires who are causing this problem in the first place. And since I've exceeded my number of fucks today, it is my pleasure to bring up somebody who has seen firsthand the destruction caused by this administration. My brother, David Huerta, the president of SEIU, California State Council.
So I see a lot of union members in the house. When we fight, when we fight, and fight we will. Take a deep breath here. My name is David Huerta. I'm president of SEIU USWW and president of SEIU California. And I stand here today on behalf of over 750,000 workers represented by SEIU in California, healthcare professionals, janitors, airport workers, security officers, caregivers, educational workers in every corner of our state. And SEIU members are ready to fight. SEIU members across the board, black, brown, Asian, white, we are worried about our democracy, and we are choosing to act. We've been protesting on the streets, and now we're gearing up to the fight at the ballot box. Workers, and in particular workers of color, are rising up to defend our democracy. And SEIU members are no strangers to fighting for democracy. Our members know what's at stake, and they know that we're in for a fight. But when we are in a fight, we're all in that fight. And we're ready now because democracy is at stake. Republicans in Texas, Washington, D.C., and other states are colluding with Trump to consolidate one-party authoritarian power in Washington. The same Republicans that changed the rules to pass their atrocious big pile of garbage. I'd say shit. Well, actually, I'm going to say big pile of shit because it is a big pile of shit, are now trying to change the rules to stay in power. Working people will not stand back and let it happen. Republicans have one goal, and that goal is to silence the voices of working people, divide brown and black communities in particular, unleash terror in immigrant communities, and establish a government that will serve corporations and the wealthy, not the working people. And it's particularly important that we are gathered in our beautiful city of Los Angeles, because it is here on June 6th that they unleashed hell on our streets. It's here on these streets that masked men came into communities, unidentified, incarcerating, taking working people, taking mothers, fathers, aunts, uncles, neighbors off our streets. And for me is with the great sense of pride as an Angelino that we saw our community defending family, defending community, but most of all defending our democracy. And we will continue to defend our city, we will continue to defend our state, we will continue to defend our families, and we continue to defend this democracy with all the power of nonviolent action and with the power of our vote. We have no intention to let up at all in this effort. We must have a response to those who choose to do this, and we cannot allow the voters in this country to be disenfranchised, perhaps permanently, by the actions of an authoritarian. SEIU members care too much about fairness, about our right to vote, and our democracy to let that happen. And we do not back down from a fight. We support Governor Newsom and the legislative leaders who are committed to taking bold action to protect our democracy. California voters must be given the chance to save our democracy. And I trust California voters will save our democracy. We will not sit silently while extremists manipulate elections, disenfranchise the majority of voters, and take away our rights. We know the rest of the country is waiting to see what happens because California, once again, is at the very front line of our fight against authoritarianism. It is our time to rise up for working people to lead the fight to save our democracy. Our democracy is at stake, and SEIU members stand ready to defend it. We are more committed now than ever before. As I travel around the country, people ask me, how is California doing? I tell them, we are ready to fight. And that's why we're here today. And if you allow me, I'd like to say in Spanish a few words. Primeramente, es un orgullo estar aquí hoy día. Mi nombre es David Huerta, presidente de SEIU USWW y presidente de SEIU California. Representamos a hace 750,000 trabajadores en toda California. Y estamos aquí hoy día. Hoy día porque ahorita nosotros tenemos que tomar una decisión como votantes en este país.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Right?
I had an apartment check on the air filter. Hello, hello, y'all. Check in. Let me know where you're tuned in from. Good day, everybody.
Y ahora tenemos que tomar una decisión.
This is the first major thing of Democrats, a Democratic-led state, fighting back against the Trump administration in a meaningful way. Today is that first day. Let today be remembered.
Para una mejor vida. Vinimos aquí a sacrificar para nuestros hijos, a trabajar, a construir. Y nuestra contribución
Hey, what up, Louisiana? How you
es
doing?
algo que se debe respetar. El
What up,
mano de
Netherlands?
obra se respete. El mano de obra es digno. Y el mano de obra lo vamos a mostrar en noviembre. Porque jamás vamos a tomar decisiones decidiendo nuestro voto por el costo de un huevo en vez del bienestar de nuestras familias. Y hoy día
What up, Houston?
empieza esa lucha a corregir el error que hubo y a defender nuestra democracia, nuestra casa, nuestro hogar. Y vamos a seguir defendiendo este hogar que es de este país y vamos a hacerlo en noviembre. ¿Se puede?
Sí.
¿Se puede? So,
Corpus Christi, Texas.
sí se puede.
What up, Oregon?
So, it's now my honor and privilege to introduce a friend and a leader on behalf of my family, on behalf of all of us in California, with great gratitude, Assembly Member Isaac Bryan. Sorry.
What up, Kentucky? How you doing? What up, Maryland? We got Maryland tuned in. We got Belgium tuned in. Good to have you.
Can y'all give it up for David Huerta one more time? He's the only person I've seen in my whole life who can come out of an ICE detention cell barefoot and still hit the block the next day ready to stay active. That's the kind of energy that channels the best of what America is, what California is. That's what we're doing in this moment. We're getting active. For me, this feels a little bit personal. Many folks know this. It's in the bio. I was born in Texas.
Thank you,
Dallas,
Darla.
Texas. Lived there until I was 7 or 8 years old. California raised me. My little brother Bobby, who didn't grow up with me, lived in Texas his entire life. And he flew out here this week so he could be a part of this moment. Because just like those 55...
What up, Edie?
Just like those 55 Democratic legislators in Texas who left courageously, patriotically, to break quorum so that their state couldn't lie, cheat, and steal national elections from the American people, that's what my little brother did and coming and letting his voice be heard. This isn't about redistricting. Don't let anybody tell you it's about redistricting. I've seen a few different polls. Do Californians hate gerrymandering? Yes, we do. Do the American people hate gerrymandering? Yes, we do, and we absolutely should. That's not what this is about. This is about whether we will let the authoritarian in the White House break our democracy while we sit silent, while we take a high road that doesn't exist
Exactly.
anymore.
It doesn't.
Now isn't that moment.
Exactly.
Now is the time to square up and defend all that we deserve, all that we've built, all that makes this country truly great. And it's really special to start this off here in Los Angeles. Goodness gracious, LA. We had the biggest fires we've ever had in our city's history. And what happened when they denied us federal aid? We rallied together. We created mutual aid. We stepped up for one another like we should. And then they came with ICE and they ran through our streets looking for families to separate. And what did we do? We took hundreds of thousands to the streets to stand up and defend folks who were struggling. And then they sent in the military. And then the governor sent them packing. And now... And now, as they're coming for our democracy in its entirety, we are not going to stand down, sit by, turn the other cheek. We are ready to squabble up. We're ready to put this on the ballot. We're ready to organize. And that's exactly what we came to do.
Kendrick Lamar reference.
Fannie Lou Hamer said, we don't run from our problems. We face them head on. We're going to face this one head on. And next, it is my honor and my privilege to introduce my sister in the legislature, the chair of the Elections Committee in the State Senate, Senator Sabrina Cervantes.
California versus Trump.
Today, we are at a flashpoint, a crisis set in motion by Donald Trump and Texas Republicans who see the writing on the wall.
Minnesota next. Let's do it.
Politicians
Come on, Governor Walz.
Congressional maps so that they can choose their voters instead of letting voters choose them. They are silencing working families.
Minnesota's
Latino
fine, though.
Voters, black voters.
Republicans don't have a chance here.
Authoritarian presidency.
Even if they did
That's
gerrymander.
not democracy, that's cheating.
They're so
in
dumb
California,
here.
We do it differently. We have an independent.
We have a special
citizen,
brand of Republicans
not
here.
Politicians drawing
special.
our map so that every vote counts equally. In California, we believe voters should have the final say at the ballot box on any changes. The American people have made it clear. People want their health care, not tax cuts for billionaires. People want lower prices for working families, not tariff taxes that are costing American consumers hundreds of billions of dollars. People want a government that trusts science and fact, not secret police dragging innocent people off the streets into unmarked vans. They know their cruel and draconian policies are failing, and they can't win in competitive districts. So instead of earning the voters' trust, they're trying to cheat their way to victory. We've seen this pattern before. When Trump doesn't have the votes, he manufactures them. Last week, our colleagues in Texas told us about being tracked by the FBI, facing bomb threats, facing death threats. This is the reality that they are living. Republicans like Trump and Abbott have the power to stop it. They refuse. This power grab will not just stop in Texas. If they succeed there, they will try it everywhere. We must be ready to fight because it is our duty to stand up and push back. The stakes are far too high for anyone to sit on the sidelines. The 2026 election could be our last chance to check Trump's reckless abuse of power.
Yeah.
National redistricting reform is needed now more than ever. If other states followed California's lead and created independent, nonpartisan commissions, we wouldn't be in this crisis today. If Texas does the right thing and backs off, we will follow suit and our ballot measure will be shelved. Californians, you are the firewall. In this country, the power belongs to the people, and we are not giving up.
Let's go, California. California said, hold our joints.
Now, my distinct honor to introduce the House Democratic Caucus Chair,
Hold our blunts.
Representative Pete Aguilar.
Yeah, we know there's feds waiting. Both sides have done shady things. What? Like what? Like what? Like what?
Thank you so
Name
much,
it.
Senator Cervantes. I'm Pete Aguilar. I'm chairman of the House Democratic Caucus, and I'm proud to be here on behalf of my House Democratic colleagues in California. We're here today because the Republican-controlled Texas state legislature wants to rig their congressional map at the request of Donald Trump to make it harder for Democrats to flip the U.S. House and to hold Donald Trump accountable. And Texas isn't alone. Other Republican-led states are making deals with the president to try to do the same thing. Donald Trump knows that without a Republican Congress to give him a free pass, his deeply unpopular policies will face real oversight and accountability. Accountability for cutting health care for millions of Californians. Accountability for disappearing people off the streets. Let me be clear. Californians believe in fair maps. Maps drawn by our independent, citizen-led commission that respects the voice of every voter. But if Texas and other red states want to move forward with their partisan power grab to rig the elections, we cannot sit on the sidelines. The 2022 elections gave us a clear warning. When North Carolina Republicans in the state legislature pushed through their partisan redistricting plan, they gained 3 seats in the House of Representatives.
Yep.
That was the exact same margin that they control the majority with today.
Cheated.
Under current maps, we need
As usual.
just 3 seats for a chance to hold Donald Trump accountable. California has the largest congressional delegation in the country.
Republicans can't win without cheating
With that
at all,
comes the
ever.
responsibility to lead the fight against attempts to steal power from the American people. We have to fight to protect our democracy, because if we don't, the harm of this Trump administration inflicting on our country is guaranteed to go unchecked as long as he is
Thank you, Bendy.
in office. Unlike Texas, where they are blatantly disregarding the Voting Rights Act in an attempt to disenfranchise voters, California will hold firm to our values. We will honor the Voting Rights Act and respect the civil rights of our voters. The California Democratic Congressional Delegation and the House Democratic Caucus stand united with Governor Newsom and thank him for his leadership to lead our state legislature at a time to defend the voices of the American people and to stop this Trump-led power grab. We will take this fight to the ballot, and we will let the voters decide, because I know California is ready to lead this fight, and we will not back down. Someone who has a proven track record in defending democracy, our Senator Adam Schiff.
Like the video if you guys haven't. Hit that like button on the stream.
Thank you, Pete, and thank you for the amazing job that you do. Folks, we are at a...
These blue states are not turning red.
in our
You're an
nation's
idiot, Harley, dude. You're
all
an
of
actual
us in
idiot.
this room who have lived in the generation post-World War II, we're used to growing up in a world of ever-increasing freedoms. We saw new democracies being born. We saw walls coming down. We saw our freedoms expand, the freedom to speak our mind or practice our faith or to love whom we would love, and we thought that this was inexorable, that it was like the moral arc of the universe always bending towards justice, until suddenly we found ourselves in a world where it was not bending towards justice, until suddenly we saw not new democracies being born, but new autocracies. Instead of seeing our own rights here at home expand, we saw them start to contract. And we have come to learn, much to our shock and astonishment, that this thing we call democracy is fragile. And now we are on the precipice of another great threat to our democracy, and that is this effort by Donald Trump and Republicans in Texas to take people's vote away, to make the votes of those in California worth less, by taking lines in Texas that are already horribly gerrymandered to elect Republicans and making them worse. This is a president who has never viewed himself as a president of the United States of America, but only as a president of some of the states and some of the regions that voted for him. This has never been the case in America. But I will say this, you come after our votes in California and we will fight you tooth and nail.
MAGA, your hate of Adam Schiff doesn't change the fact you voted for a pedophile.
Donald Trump, you do not poke the bear. Not while we're around. And people need to understand why he's doing this. They just passed in Congress the most reprehensible bill, their big ugly bill, that is raising health care costs for millions of people. It's going to cost millions of people their health care. As we stand here today, notices are already beginning to go out to tell people their health insurance costs are going up by 50% or 70%. People now, parents that are off buying back to school things for their kids, are seeing backpacks up 30% because of his stupid tariff wars, and pens and pencils costing even more. They're having to tell their kids they can't engage in certain extracurricular activities because they just don't have the money. People losing their health care, their costs are going up. This guy ran on a platform of bringing down the cost of the American people, and he's a failure. He's a failure. Costs continue to rise, but take solace in this. As you, the American people, are paying more and more for your everyday lives, Donald Trump's economy is going great. His personal economy is great. He's building a $200 million ballroom for himself. He just got his third Air
Enriching
Force
himself.
One. He's making more money for himself and his family than he ever has in his whole life put together.
Just like he did in his first term.
He doesn't give a rat's ass about you. Not in California, not in Texas. He only cares about himself. It is his underlying corruption that is responsible for the reason why you are struggling hard to make a living. And we are going to fight back. We're going to make sure that here in California, your vote matters. If they're going to play with fire, we're going to fight fire with fire. And let me just say this to quote our wonderful governor, Donald Trump, thank you for your attention to this matter. It is now my great pleasure to recognize my wonderful colleague, Alex Padilla. Thank you, Alex, for all your amazing leadership.
Thank you for your attention to this matter.
I'm Senator Alex Padilla. And I have a question for the people of California. Are we ready to stand up for our democracy? Are we ready to speak up for our democracy? Are we ready to vote this November and defend our democracy? I thought so. Look, let me also add a little bit more light as to why we are here in this moment. It's been nearly 7 months of this Trump administration. And when we stop and look at it, you can't help but come back to the words costs, chaos, and corruption.
Triple C's.
Costs on working families keep going up and up. These failed tariff wars are increasing costs for us. When you deport workers in agriculture and construction, you can't wonder why the cost of housing goes up and the cost of food goes up. Billionaires are getting their tax breaks, but working families are paying the price. Chaos. It's not just these on-again, off-again tariff wars out of the White House. It's what's happening as communities are terrorized in the city of Los Angeles, throughout the state of California, and beyond. That's right, when masked agents come out of unmarked cars and disappear people, that is intentionally created chaos, violating the Constitution. Not just bad for democracy, it's also bad for the economy. But worst of all is the corruption.
Harley, you need to suck my dick.
I won't get into the
Do that
ways
first.
that Donald Trump and the whole family is enriching
Either that
themselves by
or
leveraging
find another
this
hobby.
position. We're here to talk about what's happening in Texas and California as it pertains to redistricting. When Donald Trump calls officials in Texas and says, give me 5 more Republican seats, didn't it sound the same as when he called the Secretary of State in Georgia after losing in 2020 and saying, find me 11,000 more votes?
Mercado, Trump is going to
He's
send a
trying
lawsuit
to
at
break
you.
the system.
for saying he's a pedophile.
Speaker said extraordinary times call for
Your mom
extraordinary
hates you.
measures.
She wishes
Because
you
we're
weren't
not
born.
living in normal times. In normal times, a political party in
Her worst
power
mistake ever.
would be proud of their accomplishments. And they'd be running on their record asking for voters to keep them in power. That's not what's happening right now. With Donald Trump and complicit Republicans in Congress gutting health care, threatening social security, undermining the Constitution with this immigration enforcement deportation agenda obsession they have of 3,000 arrests per day. They know they're not just unpopular, they're wrong. And the only hope they have of keeping power next November is to rig the system.
Exactly.
And so that's what they're doing. They're rigging the lines, they're rigging the system, they're
Like
trying
always.
to rig next year's election, and California's not going to stand for it. Como mi hermano David Huerta, unas palabras en español.
You guys see all the MAGA cries in the chat that he's not a pedophile? Stop! He's not a pedophile! Stop it! You guys are all fucking losers. All of you.
Para defender nuestra democracia nacional. Todo hay tiempo para los líderes de Texas que decidan hacer lo
I will
correcto
never get tired of calling you that.
y no entregarle a Donald
We're
Trump
7
lo que
months
él
in.
está exigiendo. Cuando él llama al gobernador y los legisladores de Texas diciendo
I was calling y'all that before it was trendy, though. It's trendy now, for sure.
republicanos,
I was calling y'all that when it was against the grain, and I was making people mad.
Estado de
Good.
Georgia, después de haber perdido la elección el 2020, cuando les pidió encuéntreme 11,000 más votos. Estos no son tiempos normales. Tiempos normales en nuestro gobierno, nuestra política, es un partido en poder, orgullosos de sus logros, defendiendo su récord ante los votantes, pidiendo.
Guys, you know what it is? MAGA is jealous. MAGA is upset they didn't send their kids to the island when the going was hot to get in with Trump, and so they're upset now.
Programas de salud.
So they're trying to take out their
Costos aumentando
jealousy
para
out on you
las
guys.
trabajadoras cada día más, poniendo en riesgo el seguro social. Bien saben que no es una agenda popular y bien saben que es una agenda dañosa a nuestro país. En vez de defender su récord, en vez de hablar de sus logros, quieren cambiar las reglas de nuestra democracia y quieren asegurar que los líderes en poder en Texas decidan las elecciones, no los votantes. Es un ataque a la democracia de Texas y de California y la democracia nacional. Pero en California nos vamos a parar, nos vamos a poner a trabajar y vamos a defender a nuestra democracia. Este noviembre los votantes de California van a determinar si seguimos con una democracia fuerte o no. Es la cuestión, la pregunta de hoy. So this November, the people of California will stand up and speak up and determine whether or not we defend our democracy, because California is proud to lead. California always leans in on the biggest challenges, not just for our state, but for our nation. And we're going to do it together, because a wise governor that I know is fond of saying, if you want to go far, go alone. Excuse me, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go fast, go alone, but if you want to go far, go together. And the person who has brought us together for this fight of all fights is our friend, Governor Gavin Newsom.
Nah, Rich, I'm not blocking you. I like looking at your tears. I like watching you cry. I like watching you suffer, actually. At this point.
Thank you.
MAGA tears are just delicious. Cry more, please. If I can make you cry, that's even better. The fact that I know that you're crying watching this is just making me so happy. I'm getting life force out of it, actually.
Thank all of you in the spirit of that African proverb that Senator Padilla was referencing. You want to go fast, go alone. You want to go far, go together. And I look back at this audience.
Look at them cry in the chat, y'all. They're crying so much.
In this cause. And I'm reminded where we are at this precious moment in time. We are in Los Angeles.
The fuck up. Don't y'all have some fucking
The most diverse city.
press conference to watch?
Most diverse county. In the most diverse state. In the world's most diverse democracy.
Some executive order to go watch or something?
And
Go
I
fuck off.
believe that the world looks to us, to all of you, to see that it's possible to live together and advance together and prosper together across every conceivable and imaginable difference. What makes LA great, what makes California great, and what makes the United States of America great is that at our best, we don't tolerate our diversity, we celebrate our diversity. And it's a point of pride because we're all in this together. Where are we? At Democracy Center. And right outside, at this exact moment, are dozens and dozens of ICE agents. Donald Trump, you think it's coincidental? Donald Trump and his minions, Tom Homan, tough guy.
Mush mouth. Blood. Tom Homan.
That this was a location to advance ICE arrests. Indiscriminate, perhaps.
Blood.
Was certainly indiscriminate when a 15-year-old disabled boy had a gun put to his head in Los Angeles trying to go to school just a few days ago. I met with it. I don't need to belabor this, except I want to level set. People are scared. People are fearful. You had a United States senator that was thrown down to the ground in a federal building. Alex Padilla. J.D. Vance's name is Alex Padilla, not Jose Padilla. That's the Vice President of the United States. There's another museum not so far away from us, talks about those 53 days. Some of you know what I'm referring to. Wake up, America. This is a serious moment. Wake up to what's going on. Wake up to the fear, the anxiety. Wake up to what's happening, not just here in Los Angeles, where we saw our streets militarized. We saw our due process rights thrown out the window. You heard the word disappeared. I was with a 12-year-old boy born in Oxnard, California, whose mother and father were disappeared. 20 years going to the same packing facility every single day. He didn't even know how to get back into his own home, into his own house. Had no brothers and sisters. He has now disappeared in an attempt to find his parents. That's Trump's America. That's the moment we're living in. So these are sober times. And so I'm deeply grateful to all of you for standing up and for being here today. I'm grateful for all the elected officials that are here, members of Congress, not just our 2 U.S. senators, to members of the California legislature for having the courage of their convictions, for standing tall and standing firm, to recognize today is Liberation Day in the state of California. And as Senator Schiff said, Donald Trump, you have poked the bear, and we will punch back. Here's the good thing about California, folks. We're the size of 21 state populations combined. We're the 4th largest economy in the world. We're not a small, isolated state. I know they say don't mess with Texas. Well, don't mess with the great Golden State. And so we're here with our state of mind, with the clarity of our purpose and conviction, to recognize that we need to reconcile the world we're living in. We do have agency. We're not bystanders in this world. We can shape the future, and that's what we intend to do today. We're here because Donald Trump, on January 6th, tried to light democracy on fire, tried to wreck this country. tried to steal an election, as Alex just said, by trying to dial in for 11, almost 12,000 votes. And here we are in open and plain sight before one vote is cast in the 2026 midterm election. And here he is once again trying to rig the system. He doesn't play by a different set of rules. He doesn't believe in the rules. And as a consequence, we need to disabuse ourselves of the way things have been done. It's not good enough to just hold hands, have a candlelight vigil, and talk about the way the world should be. We have got to recognize
exactly.
the cards that have been done.
Exactly.
And we have got to meet fire with fire.
Not the vigil.
And we've got to be held to a higher level of accountability.
Yes.
So that's what this is about. It's not complicated. We're doing this in reaction to a president of the United States that called a sitting governor of the state of Texas and said, find me 5 seats. We're doing it in reaction to that act. We're doing it mindful of our higher angels and better angels. We're doing it mindful that we want to model better behavior, as we've been doing for 15 years in the state of California with our independent redistricting commission. But we cannot unilaterally disarm. We can't stand back and watch this democracy disappear. We can't stand back and watch this democracy disappear district by district all across this country, not just in Texas, but in Missouri, where J.D. Vance went just a week ago, in Indiana, in places like Ohio, in places like Florida. We need to stand up, not just California. Other blue states need to stand up. We need to be firm and resolved. We need to put back. So we're here in that light. And I'm grateful to have remarkable partners in the legislature. It's a tall task. We're asking them for 2/3 of a legislative consent, but this is the difference. This is the difference between what's happening in Texas and what's happening here in California. We didn't receive a phone call from the President of the United States to then quietly go in the back room and start drawing maps and legislatively try to jam them through against the consent of the people. We're doing precisely the opposite. We're working through a very transparent, temporary, and public process. We're putting the maps on the ballot, and we're giving the power to the people. This will be the first redistricting that's ever done that. That's the difference. We tried to raise the standards, and these guys are not playing by any set of rules. So this time requires us to act anew, not just think anew. And so I'm grateful to all of the remarkable leaders that have stepped up, this unifying effort here in the state of California. And we'll be asking for the people on November 4th, a special election, coinciding with a lot of local municipal elections, to provide a temporary pathway for congressional maps. We will affirm our commitment to the state independent redistricting after the 2030 census, but we're asking the voters for their consent to do midterm redistricting in 2026, 2028, and 2030 for the congressional maps, to respond to what's happening in Texas, to respond what Trump is trying to excite. And we'll do so in a way that also affirms our desire as a state to level the playing field all across the United States. We believe in a national independent redistricting.
Guys, the trolls are so upset. Look at them in the chat.
That's the right goal.
Just laugh and troll back. We're not blocking them.
Just state for the fact,
We're not blocking them.
Lofgren, who runs our California delegation, she authored the bill. Democrats unanimously supported
You're gonna
that
bird box
National
'em.
Independent Redistricting Commission. Republicans were nowhere to be found. They want to rig these elections, and they want the power that gerrymandering provides, because they know what Donald Trump knows. He's going to lose the midterms. He knows de facto his presidency ends in 17 months when Speaker Jeffries is back in office. He knows it. Why else would you try to rig the system? Why else would you make the phone call? He's a failed president.
Yeah, put your volume of stuff back though.
Same time.
No limits, no rules.
Like this.
Say to him whatever you want.
Someone is broken.
New era.
Someone's weakness is masquerading as strength. The most unpopular president in modern history. An economy that's collapsing all around him. You saw the new wholesale prices going up almost a full percentage point today. Inflation is going up. Job creation is going down. He's trying to rewrite history, Smithsonian, censoring historical facts. And in the spirit of what Adam Schiff said, he's trying to put America in reverse.
Thank you, Dave, for the 5
Voting rights,
gifted.
civil rights, LGBTQ rights, on women's rights. He wants to bring us back to a pre-1960s world. That's what this is all about. It's about power, and I want to end on this. And we are about to give power back to the people. You have, on November 4th in California, you have the power to stand up to Trump. You have the power to declare that you support a system that is not rigged. You have the power on November 4th to stand up for people that are being bullied. You have the power to stand up for people that are being intimidated. You have the power to stand up to the rule of law. We're giving the people of this state the power to save democracy, not just in California, but all across the United States of America. I hope we are waking up to this reality. Wake up, America. Wake up to what Donald Trump is doing. Wake up to his assault. Wake up to the assault on institutions and knowledge and history. Wake up to his war on science and public health. His war against the American people. This is a guy who lays claim to want to get a Nobel Prize, sitting there and bending his knee to Mr. Putin. You have the power to straighten this out. And so I want to again just thank everybody for exercising not just their formal authority, yes, that's what we're doing, but also sharing their moral authority at this moment. I want to thank everybody for being here today, for being here tomorrow, and most importantly, we're counting on all of you on November 4th to be there for each other to win this election and stand up for our democracy. Thank you all very, very much. Thank you.
Yeah, he'll be the nominee in 2028, or at least one of the primary candidates. For sure, Gavin Newsom will be one of the options to vote for in 2028. It's for sure. Like, it's obvious. But good. Finally something. We'll see if it, like, we gotta see how it plays out. If they're gonna be serious about this, because the Texas redistricting and the gerrymandering is the GOP's attempt to steal the midterms because they know it's cooked. And if the Democrats win the midterms, then Trump's agenda, his manifest destiny of whatever this dog shit would be over. Because then the Democrats could just party line vote against everything and then shut everything down. You can't pass a bill. And that's why they forced through the they forced in the they forced through the big beautiful bill through Congress, because Donald Trump knew that his time is limited. So this was 38 minutes ago. Gavin Newsom's account tweeted this out. They got armed Nazis outside the looking like Russia, dude. We look like Russia now. Ironically, after Trump said he's going to Alaska, whatever, to go meet with Putin.
What's going on here? Hey, now we're here making Los Angeles a safer place.
We're out here. Well, he wanted to say it, didn't he? He totally wanted to say we're out here to make Los Angeles great again. He wanted to say it. MAGA freak, Border Patrol agent. Why the fuck is a Border Patrol outside the? No standard. You get to wear that dumb fuck MAGA COVID mask. Remember when they coped? Remember when they coped about masks and they all went out and bought this dumb fuck mask thing? This is the 2020 chud face mask. Whenever you saw someone wear this mask in 2020, you knew they were a Trump voter. You knew they voted for Trump. and they wore it like that too, with their stupid fucking nose over it, or either had like they had a pocket there, just like that guy's wearing it. Fucking just dumb fucks.
We won't have politicians. We do that ourselves.
Look at that. That guy's doing the sunglasses on his baklava.
That's why we're here today. As you can see,
Look like thugs, dude. Look at him. MAGA, why don't you go sign up for that and go do something instead of trolling a YouTube chat? Why don't you go do that one?
As a MAGA Christian who's barely left a small town in rural America, I want to give it to you straight about Washington, D.C. It's a war zone. Because you can tell by looking at me, I'm an alpha male. There's two tough men that walk the face of this flat earth. John Wayne, and he's dead, and you're looking at the other one. But nothing scares me more than a big city. If they got a pro sports team, buddy, I'm locking my doors before I even leave the driveway. Just to be safe, you know. And, but I was in D.C. not too long ago, and it was terrifying. It was a war zone. First off, there's nowhere to park a plus-size truck. So eventually I found a spot. I climbed down the ladder, and as soon as my feet touched the pavement, it was just everything coming at me. I said, public transportation. And then I looked to my right, and I said, people darker than me. And one of them looked at me, and he said, hello there, buddy. How are you doing? And then I said, good, sir. But in my head, I'm thinking, I'm not your buddy, guy. And then I looked down the street, and there's two people holding hands. And I said, finally, we got some normalcy. And then I zoomed out, because that's how I look at people. Is I look at their hands, and I zoom out. And it was two men holding hands. And they were facing away from me and walking away from me. But they were doing it at me. It was a personal attack. It's how I felt. So now I'm in the middle of D.C., sweating, breathing heavy, and that's just from seeing the gay couple. And on top of that, now I'm having a panic attack. So I duck inside a restaurant, and immediately all kinds of, I said, what is that? I never smelled that. And I said, what's this? And they said, foreign food. And of course they didn't say that. They said whatever it was. But I heard foreign food, and everybody was looking at me. So I took a bite. I said, I'll try it. And I spit it right out. I said, what did you put in this? He said, sir, that's called seasoning. I said, get me the hell out of here. Get me back to God's country. Get me back to the land of chicken tenders and fries. So no, I'm running down the sidewalk, which for me is just a brisk walk, but I'm running. And a homeless man, he comes out of the alley and he says, hey, buddy, can I get $1? And in my head, I'm thinking, I'm not your buddy, guy. But out on the outside, you know, I'm a MAGA Christian. So I said, go on, get. And then I keep going down the sidewalk, and then right in front of me at the intersection, somebody stole an Amazon truck. He had an Amazon hat and an Amazon uniform on, one of them scanner things, but he was darker than me, so he stole the truck, and that scanner was probably a gun, but it was a war zone. And finally, I was just overwhelmed, and I was cold. It was January 6th,
6th,
I think it was. So I ducked into the Capitol building to stop off at the gift shop, maybe take a dump on Nancy Pelosi's desk and beat a cop with a Blue Lives Matter flag, but it was only then that I felt safe from the war zone.
I like how a lot of you had no idea if that guy was trolling or not. That's perfect. The fact that you had no idea if he was like being serious or not tells you how cooked MAGA is. You guys keep listen. You keep saying that stuff's happening outside the building. I saw a clip, but I mean, what are they gonna do? Well, what can they do? Yeah, they're just standing out there. Probably Trump told them probably to go intimidate people for a second. I don't really think there's much else to happen with that. Here's his ad. Trump's election rigging comes to an end now. California won't stand by and watch Trump burn it all down. We're calling for a special election to redraw our congressional maps and defend fair representation.
It is a 5-alarm fire for democracy in the United States of America. Donald Trump, who's trying to light a torch on democracy, continue to try to rig the election. His agenda is failing. This presidency is failing. He knows the headwinds in a midterm. Now he's dialing up for seats.
Especially if this is successful if the Democrats win the midterms, which I think just naturally, and that's what happened with Biden's win, was obviously Biden was in 2020, mid in terms of like politics, right? He's not really a progressive. He's not a progressive. He's not like far left. He was like the mid option. But like it was the option other than Trump, and he got 81 million votes. Imagine if there's like some actual like, because in 2020 people were just begging for a way out of Trump. Any way out of that at the time, and America got cooked again. Hot stove theory. But any way to get out of Trump, and that's why Biden at 81 million votes. Imagine if you actually get someone that Americans want, actually. Now, I mean, Biden was voted for sure, and people wanted him eventually. But like, I'm talking some grassroots energy towards a candidate well in advance of the election, going into it. So, and also this midterms, if the Democrats win the midterms, this will be really good for Gavin Newsom's chances in 2028, because he's spearheading this effort. Okay, he's the one that's driving it, and it comes after Trump sent the feds, which he's still doing, and the military into California.
He called Greg Abbott, who doesn't have the courage, doesn't have the conscience, and he has rolled over, and he said, yes, sir, and. So we have got to step up. We tried to play by a higher set of standards and rules with our independent redistricting, and we believe in that. We are talking about emergency measures to respond to what's happening in Texas, and we will nullify what happens in Texas. We will pick up 5 seats with the consent of the people, and that's the difference between the approach we're taking and the approach they're taking. There are no rules for Donald Trump.
Exactly.
This is a serious moment.
The Republicans never play by the rules. They're the rules for thee, but not for me. Okay? America does have rules. We have laws. Republicans don't follow them, ever.
In American history. And so we are here to meet this moment.
So the Democrats, always, they need to find a way to follow the rules while also, meeting the moment. And meeting the moment means you're going to have to get dirty, right? Gerrymandering is dirty. That's why California was like, we need an independent commission over it, which is what they're trying to get on the census, which every state should be doing. Yeah, Republicans benefit from gerrymandering more than Democrats, but it's not even close. I got the numbers for you guys. I got the freaking numbers for you. Let me pull it up here. The comparison. Okay, I got the numbers here. So, who the hell is gerrymandering more? U.S. House redistricting advantage. Republicans control redistricting for 191 House seats, compared to just 71 for Democrats. So you got these MAGA losers in the chat going, but the Democrats do it too. Look at the one Illinois. Look at Illinois. Look at it. 191 from gerrymandering. The Nationals set advantage. The Brennan Center for Estimates Republicans are benefiting from gerrymandering to the tune of a net gain of about 16 House seats. Without gerrymandering, Republicans wouldn't have 16 seats in the Congress. Republicans control more state legislatures, roughly 23 versus 15 for Democrats, which means they have more opportunities to draw favorable districts. How the numbers play out. Republican-dominated moves. Texas proposed mid-decade redistricting would give Republicans an additional 5 seats in the House for 2026. Florida, Missouri, Ohio, Indiana, GOP-led efforts aim to add over a dozen. And also North Carolina, Wisconsin, Tennessee, Arizona also hold a Republican, have a Republican lead because of gerrymandering. So here's a table. Republicans controlled House seats, they have 191. Then estimated net gain of 16 seats. Legislative map, 23 states. They got proposals in Texas, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Republicans are dominating the gerrymandering game in terms of scale and influence. Their advantage in controlling more legislative bodies and redistricting power translates into significant structural gains. Democrats are beginning to fight back in states that control, but their ability to counteract the GOP's moves is limited and often comes with political and legal costs because the Democrats are bound to rules and the Republicans are not. That's really why. That's actually the facts there. Texas GOP. Texas GOP redistricting plan courts Latino voters while cutting their growing political power. For the past decade, Texas Republicans have been fixated on Latino voters. portraying them as the future of the party's growth and quietly searching for their ways to harness their numbers without risking political ground. And then they just, oh man, then they just screw them over. Remember Latinos for Trump? That was embarrassing. As a Latino myself, that was embarrassing. Then the lady who was like running it has had to come out and be like, wow, Trump screwed us. Wow. I can't believe it. Regret. Remember the Latinos for, they had a music video. Why are all the political videos so weird now? Everyone has these weird thumbnails and like they look like spam. Like I'm not clicking, that looks like spam. Never mind. Where's the Latinos for, oh, there's an article written at least. Trump's approval. No, where's the Latinos for Trump co-founder? Oh, Latinas for Trump? Oh, it's Latinas for Trump. They had that too, though. They had like Muslims for Trump too and shit. Just the worst. Where is the
immigration-related arrests?
Okay, never mind. It's all junk, garbage videos. That's what YouTube is just filled with this now. Just slop. Yeah, man. Quality videos are going down. I tell you what. And you guys are saying outside of the thing, there's nothing happening. Why don't you guys want to actually listen to what Newsom and the people said in there? I'm more worried about what could have happened outside with the ice. I get it, but it's like right away I was seeing comments. Look at what's happening outside. I'm like, brother, the event is inside right now. I get it though. I do understand. Battlefield is back too, so that's happening. We'll be doing that a little later today. You see what else we got Newsom posting here. Mag, how does it feel you voted for a pedophile for president? Should we talk about that for a bit? I mean, do we need to talk about that? We saw that in the event. Okay, they're just posting clips right now. You love Newsom? Yeah, I think his approval ratings got to be going up. Even in the country. Even around the country. But hold on, you gotta watch this. I was seeing well, I could watch the whole thing because it's like a 2-hour long debate.
I could be wrong.
But he just debated this guy. Right? He debated this MAGA influencer who just looks like a moron. He's a patriot. MAGA, this is when you stop watching because you're gonna watch one of your own look like an idiot, and that is gonna make you embarrassed. Actually, I don't do it, but you're about to watch one of your own people just get shit on. So this guy who looks like that, got absolutely destroyed by Destiny in a 2.5 hour debate. But we're not gonna watch the whole thing. You can go watch it if you want. The important part is when they're about to end. They're about to end. He's giving his final statement, and then they go into Epstein. They talk about Epstein. Where is it? Is it here?
Well, we've just deleted everything relating to Epstein, and so I never could have arrested him. And
nice. So Destiny really he owns him the whole debate, but you can go watch the rest of it on other topics. They talk about the economy, ICE, all that.
Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah, you got a AI shit during the debate. Got a Grok stuff.
Shade
Hold on.
with the kids. I think that's more of a connection than a guy who.
When was the last time Bill Clinton met with Epstein?
Nice. They get into all that. They get into all of that. Hold on. Don't worry, MAGA. It's your time to leave. Leave now before you get embarrassed from your own debating and looking like an idiot.
And then, so that would give about a year and change where Trump probably could have.
No, I think it started at like the 2-hour mark. like right here. They were about
certain things, that means that you can presume that it is a possibility that Biden did the same thing you're accusing Trump of.
Yes, if I had no critical ability to analyze media, then I would say that. But if I looked at the facts, if I looked at all the reports, if I looked at stuff from the White House, there's been a lot of stuff that's leaked from both White Houses. Jake Tapper wrote his whole book attacking Biden, and plenty of people in the Biden White House had their opinions on how things ran. Nobody ever has
You can watch it from
Biden was directing Merrick Garland. That's just never been the case. There's no evidence of that whatsoever.
Jake Tapper, the guy who said that Biden was the sharpest president ever, and then waited until they railroaded him to write a book. Look, man, I'm pretty much, unless you have more topics you want to talk
Yeah, I think we've gone for 2 hours.
I mean, there's no evidence that Biden directed Garland to do anything. That's good. And there's open evidence that Donald Trump thinks...
So before this, they were debating Trump's usage of the Department of Justice directly with Pam Bondi and how Biden never did that. And that made me mad because you should have directed the Department of Justice to absolutely go after Trump, and he never did. Right? I wanted that to happen. Biden didn't do it. Trump is, though. Trump's using the Department of Justice as his own personal enforcer, his own personal police force.
He controls literally unilaterally the DOJ.
By your logic, there is no evidence that Donald Trump has done anything wrong either. Because
anything wrong? Why did you make it so vague? I said he controls the DOJ on his own unilaterally.
There's no evidence that he controls the DOJ.
There literally is. What do you mean? Pam Bondi literally says Donald Trump has directed me to look into this. Donald Trump has and then Donald Trump literally says
you got to go watch this. It's truly like I've debated a couple MAGA before, right? It's cancer. It truly is cancer content. But like sometimes I can deal with it in this moment right now when like finally we're seeing an energy of fight back. And I want to see them just absolutely flail right now. But like usually though, listening to a debate against MAGA, you're getting cancer. You're getting secondhand cancer from watching that.
I have Pam Bondi looking into this. Yes.
Donald Trump is her boss.
Yeah, but the DOJ is supposed to operate independently.
But Donald Trump is her boss.
So he can hire and fire. That's it.
But Trump is her boss. He can do it.
But he can also direct his attorney general. Presidents direct their attorney generals.
People don't typically direct their attorney generals like that. That's not the norm.
Okay.
You're supposed to operate independently. Like, yes, you're chosen in the cabinet by the president, but you're independently running it. But you're still under Trump. You're still under the federal government. Obviously, he's your boss technically, but like it's supposed to be its own thing.
Sure, let's end it there.
Let's end it there. I can't.
Like we'll go 30 minutes on this.
Anyways,
I'm just curious. Wait, just as a media critical person, do you know what the three branches of government are?
Yeah, the judiciary, executive, and legislative.
Okay, good job. A+.
It's usually an easy one to get them on.
Let's go to closing statements. So since Destiny went first, then I think Misfit, you should go first for the closing statement.
Sure.
Say whatever you need, and go ahead.
Okay.
We're gonna get into the Epstein shit next.
Is going to be similar to my opening statement. I'm just going to rattle through the list of achievements, and I think that any real critical thinking person will say that if you look at your life now versus, I would say even.
He speaks in Trump slogans. If you look at your life now compared to 6 years ago, are you better off?
6 months or
wait, before we do closings, what do we think about the Epstein thing? Can we just visit that for 2 seconds?
Nice, and it turns into a half hour, which is awesome.
How do we feel about
if Misfit has time, then we can.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, that is a big L for MAGA, a major L.
Okay, let's limit it to like 5-ish minutes. But
I'm just curious. It seems like the Epstein thing is
5 minutes. Okay, again, it's we go for like a half hour.
A pretty big fumble.
Pam Bondi should be fired.
Do you think he's going to fire her?
No. But
why not?
Well, here's the thing about the Epstein.
So after he just spent arguing that Trump can fire and hire anyone he wants, right? We didn't watch the whole segment because it truly is just like cancer to listen to. Like at first it's fire, but then like listening to this guy, you just like hate yourself afterwards. But he just was like, hey, Trump can hire and fire whoever he wants. He's the boss. Hey, yay, forget about it. He's the boss. He can do it. He can do it. And then he's like, Pam Bondi should be fired. And then Desi's like, well, why isn't he firing her?
Situation with the Epstein files, right? None of it's really an indictment against Trump other than he definitely hired the wrong person for attorney general because she spent her time lying.
Wait, so he can hire the wrong person? You can hire the wrong person then? I thought Trump doesn't make mistakes. I thought he puts the best people around him.
To the American people about how there was this big bombshell that didn't exist, and now that there's a big nothing burger, it's a bad reflection on Trump. So she should be fired on that alone.
What about the evidence that the FBI was like pointing out like where Donald Trump is coming up in the Epstein files and then filtering that information up to Pam Bondi?
Everyone knew Donald Trump was in the Epstein files, and he knew that when he was releasing them.
Yeah, everyone. The new MAGA take is everyone knew Trump was in the Epstein. Listen, you MAGA losers in my chat, you're behind on the lore. All right, you're behind. You're behind on your own lore. You got to accept that he's in the Epstein files now and just say it is what it is. You're sitting here arguing that no, he's not. No, he's not. No, it's you're the goalposts have already changed. You're behind. You're not keeping up with the times. Your MAGA movement's moving without you. You're just lost and confused. But you need to say that, hey, we all knew he was in the Epstein files. That's the take now. That's what you say. Okay, that's your messaging at this point.
Okay, so don't you think like Kash Patel and Dan Bongo Balls, shouldn't both these people get fired too? All three of these people should be gone, right?
What do you mean? Hold on.
Wasn't Kash Patel and Don Bongino, weren't they also saying that there is like huge information that they were going to be able to release?
Yes.
Before they were in office, before they were in the administration and actually saw the lack of evidence, they made a presumption that there was evidence there that I believe was already destroyed.
No, it wasn't like I believe. It was like there is for sure evidence of this, and we're gonna get to the bottom of it if Trump wins.
And I don't think that anybody.
So did they lie then? What they say was a lie?
On your side has any credible argument for the Epstein files when Biden had 4 years to release the Epstein files?
Wait, why didn't maybe Donald Trump destroyed them all?
When
he was president and Epstein. Don't forget, Epstein was unalived when Trump was president. I think Trump killed Epstein. I think Trump killed Epstein to prevent the facts from coming out, and then played narrative and then hid himself in the propaganda of right-wing bullshit of like, oh, we got to get the Epstein files. The Democrats and the globalists and the Jews and George Soros and the blacks are all in there. Not Trump, though. Not my Trump. Nope. Meanwhile, Trump had Epstein killed because he was absolutely a pedophile on the island the whole time. But MAGA forgets that. They want to. This is going to be great. Watch him just flail. This is going to be him flailing. And I know MAGA absolutely tuned out because they don't want to watch their own. And this is looking at themselves in the mirror, and it makes them uncomfortable. They don't like it.
Epstein died when he was president of the United States in 2019.
Okay. So Donald Trump destroyed them, but not Biden or Obama or Bush. So Donald Trump was president for like 4 out of the 18 years that Epstein was under indictment, investigation, and eventually arrested. It wasn't until Donald Trump put his DOJ in charge that Epstein was actually arrested, right? Epstein was arrested under Donald Trump. Epstein
doesn't that hurt? Yeah, so if he was arrested,
exactly, doesn't that hurt the
Donald Trump, put into jail, and then died in prison in a federal?
Exactly. It's almost like the propaganda around the Clintons. And all the Clintons were killing the Seth Rich and the blah, 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 and they kill their political. Nope, Trump did it. Nope, actually, it's a projection from the Republicans. Nope, Trump killed Epstein. All right, that's what I'm on now. Epstein killed himself. Trump had him killed, and then covered it up, and then covered himself in a bunch of right-wing propaganda that still is like, now they're confused now. They're confused now, but for years he's been shelled by putting the issue in front of him as if like they're fighting to take down this pedophile ring. Meanwhile, he's the pedophile and he's the one that killed Epstein behind the scenes the whole time. Facts, in my opinion.
Federal prison, and now, so how would Biden?
Why didn't Obama release the Epstein files in 50? Because the Democrats aren't running on political retribution on Republicans. Today is the first day that you just saw Gavin Newsom engage in that. They don't campaign on it like Trump does. Why don't the Democrats do what we do? Okay, you're not going to want that because number one, Democrats are smarter, so they would commit the crimes better. Actually, if like you want to go there, that's why you don't want to go there, because now Democrats will actually know the laws and the loopholes they can fucking use. Trump just steamrolls over them. He doesn't care. But now the Democrats are going to have to activate their brain and then use the power of knowing knowing what the fuck's going on out here to play games. Okay, which gerrymandering is playing games. I'm not for it at all. But at the same time, what Gavin Newsom said today and the Democrats in California are on is absolutely true. Can't just sit by and hold vigils and say, "Oh God, I wish we could have done something." We can't because of these rules that the Republicans aren't following. Republicans aren't following these rules at all. Why do we need to? Well, and they can't do that either because, again, unfortunately, Democrats are held to the standard. Not always, not perfectly, for sure. Need to be reformed there. Some of them need to be a new Democrat needs to be in their spot, or a more progressive Democrat. But the effort's there now. Okay, the effort is there, and even Newsom was like, "Hey, we got to do it. We're gonna do this, but we got to do it a way that at least involves the voters and at least involves the Californians, which is like to put it on the ballot and have Californians vote for it instead of just like Gavin Newsom saying like what Texas is doing. All right, they're putting it back to the voters instead of just having the politicians deal with it, and the GOP in Texas just fist GOP seats for them.
I didn't even have the chance to destroy any files. Seems like this is all under Donald Trump's supervision. Maybe Donald Trump was protecting himself.
I mean, he did die in 2019, and that was close to when Donald Trump was on his way out, and he was kind of busy with that whole COVID thing.
It was 2 years after, but
hey, Facebook, you guys have permission to look into John David in the comments. Look at his description and his stuff on his Facebook page. You might have some problems there, maybe.
Well, COVID. I mean, like I said,
what is Dominion Bible Institute, John David, from Plano, Texas? What's the Dominion Bible Institute? What do you guys do there? Is that where the Epstein managers meet and then pray over the victims, or what?
Epstein died in 2019, and then so that would give about a year and change where Trump probably could have looked into it more, but I don't think it was at the top of his list of priorities. I think he was running the country.
Do you think there's like a big incentive for Trump to hide that, maybe because he's in the files?
Yep. 100%.
No. Donald Trump.
Wait. No. He wouldn't do that. No, Trump. No, listen. Hey. You got them all wrong.
I don't think
you got them all wrong.
His list of priorities. I think he was running the country.
Do you think there's like a big incentive for Trump to hide that, maybe because he's in the files?
Wait, no. Donald Trump is the only person that cooperated with the DOJ and testified against Jeffrey Epstein. Donald Trump kicked out Jeffrey Epstein from his club in Mar-a-Lago 30 years ago and has no contact with him
after
since.
He knew that
no contact.
Epstein was stealing employees there to go bring to his own place. Yeah,
exactly.
He let him take one, and then he brought him back. And after the second one, he was like, "Okay, now you're gone."
No, he knew he was stealing employees. He didn't know that he was a sex trafficker.
Oh, that's crazy. Because then why did he fire him after he took the second employee?
Ooh.
After he's literally saying on record that like everybody knows that he likes young women and everything.
Oof.
Yeah, like I think he meant young, like 18, 19.
Oh my God! Listen to the cope happen and listen to the cope, y'all. That's why MAGA and my chat are just absolutely throwing ketchup at the chat right now and just putting like Trump. He'll be elected a fourth time. Trump. Because they have nothing. Because when you confront them with the facts, boy, do they shrivel up. They shrivel up. Listen to the cope. You can hear it happen in real time here.
After he's literally saying on record that like everybody knows that he likes young women and everything.
Yeah, like I think he meant young, like 18, 19. I don't think he knew that the guy was I know he didn't know he was a sex trafficker because he's been investigated ad nauseum. Jeffrey Epstein's own victims said they never saw Donald Trump with Jeffrey Epstein. They never saw Donald Trump do anything improper with Jeffrey Epstein. Donald Trump is in the Epstein files as a guy who cooperated with the DOJ against Jeffrey Epstein, and he was listed on the plane along with Ivanka.
If Trump knew that he was such a bad guy, why did Trump make Acosta his labor secretary when Acosta was the prosecutor that cut that sweetheart deal for Epstein in 2001 or whatever?
Oof. Get him, Destiny.
I don't know. I can't answer that.
I don't know, man. I don't know. That's weird.
I have no idea.
Trump.
And then the FBI said that, like, we go ahead and noted all the places where he was in the files, and then the DOJ decides not to have anything.
Hold on. Let's use your own logic that you're applying to Donald Trump against Joe Biden and against Barack Obama. Joe Biden and Barack Obama are very good friends with the Clintons, and Bill Clinton was on the Epstein plane
Jesus Christ
27 times. He was on the island. There was a painting of Bill Clinton in a blue dress and red.
All right, so MAGA thinks the blue dress thing is an actual dunk, and they've thought this for years. Watch it get dismantled finally.
High heels in the fucking building.
This was a big thing for MAGA. The day that the Bill Clinton photo came out, of the portrait, that Epstein had a portrait of Bill Clinton in a blue dress. It's this one. This was like MAGA's defining moment that Bill Clinton was absolutely like the worst pedophile ever. And yeah, he was friends with Epstein and he should be tried too. Bill Clinton, blue dress. Or is it? There you go. There you go. If in case you didn't see this yet, you wanted to ruin your day. There you go. Bill Clinton in a blue dress sitting with the high heels. So MAGA took this as like, oh my God, Bill, look at Bill. He's running the ring and he was like, oh God, for sure. He's the bad. He's the worst.
They were fucking kids. So you can put two and two together and create Donald Trump's a pedophile, but you can't even remotely entertain the idea that Biden or Obama, who had way more time, could have destroyed evidence to protect their social circle. Like, I mean, come on, dude.
To protect theirs, so you get MAGA creates conspiracy about Biden and Obama and in connection to Clinton, and that you don't think that they would protect him. They don't have to. They don't care. That's why. That's the other reason. Why didn't Biden and Obama do it? It's not a fucking issue for the Democrats. It's been an issue for the Republicans because your influencers and Trump himself have made it that way, to try to hide himself from the fact that he's a pedophile and he was friends with Epstein and he went to the island multiple times and stayed in contact with him well after.
No, I don't think that makes any sense. That none of them had.
How?
Well, you said it yourself that Epstein didn't end up being arrested until under Trump's administration. We know that Epstein is on recording saying that he was best friends with Donald Trump for 10 years.
Yep.
You know that if that same recording existed for him saying he was the best friends with the Clintons or the Obamas, you guys would be losing your mind over. But because it was with Trump, nobody cares about it.
Exactly.
They were friends in the 90s. Jeffrey Epstein was arrested in 2000 and was it 4? I think it was.
So you think that he just started all of it and got arrested immediately?
No, he got arrested for having an underage hooker. I believe it was 2004. That was under Bush, right? So you had Bush who arrested.
Yeah, but everybody knew that he liked young girls before then. Trump and everybody else had said that. Trump
yeah,
sent a birthday card. It was in that thing that got published recently. They got really mad about it. That he's suing the Wall Street Journal for.
The thing that's completely.
The fake news. Yeah, the fake news. Okay, that's what they do. It ain't true, and if it is, it ain't illegal. That's MAGA. That's what they go to. Yeah, well, and then also, then Biden did it or something, or Obama. Oh yeah, well, Biden, and I think that's
he wrote on a pubic area. Do you have any idea how ridiculous? Let's not go down that rabbit hole.
You think that whole story is fake?
Yes, that's why he's suing them.
You think that if you sue somebody, it means you're okay? Interesting.
I mean, it doesn't make sense on its face. It's basically this probably would have come up in the decades-long investigations. It just conveniently comes out now that there was this magical birthday card that shows up right as the Epstein files are.
What about when Donald Trump on video is wishing Ghislaine well, even though he knows that she's in prison or whatever? Yeah. He's like, well, her husband died, and I wish her well. I wish her well.
I think that's just a saying, but either way, right?
It's just a saying. Listen to him, Cope. Listen to him, guys. This is MAGA in a fucking corner. This is where we need to keep them, by the way. They should never be let out of their fucking corner ever again. Never, ever, ever again politically. Put into a corner, and then we all back them into it, and then we sit there. And they're going to fight. Be a rat, too. Fight like a rat, too, and then we can all fucking kick you back into the spot. That's what we need to view MAGA as. We're all here. MAGA's in the fucking corner, and we're keeping them there. We have to. We have to literally keep them in that spot and never make them comfortable to come out of it again.
Just a saying?
No. Let's not do the thing where you pivot and try.
I'm not pivoting. I'm just saying there's a lot of connections between Trump and Epstein. Yeah.
Let's go back. You said there's a lot of connections to Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein, right? I have told you the connections to Donald Trump ceased in the 1990s. Bill Clinton was on the Lolita Express 27 times, and there is a painting of Bill Clinton in a blue dress with red high heels on that has been authenticated and verified by the Department of Justice. They found a painting of Bill Clinton, which looks like a portrait that he posed.
I think we can all agree that Bill Clinton was a massive perv. Like, people on the left are not going to argue with that.
I don't even know, where is this painting?
You haven't heard of this? I mean, go. You can look it up. Look up Bill Clinton blue dress painting. It's real, by the way. So Bill Clinton.
It's real. It's real.
Who is friends with Jeffrey Epstein after the 90s on the Lolita Express at the island.
That's MAGA's thing. They'll like something exists. Like, yes, the blue dress exists, but like they will attribute that as to like Bill Clinton and Epstein were absolutely like pedophiles together, and that was like a sign of like Bill Clinton's pedophilia. Instead of like, well, why does it exist? Who painted it? Why was it there? They don't care about that. They don't care about that. That would be giving them too many facts that would go against their bias and against what they want to believe. Too much.
Where they had sex with young children. And there's way more of a connection. So applying your Trump logic of, just a connection is apparently enough to jump to the conclusion that he's, presumably you think he's doing nefarious activities, then you would have to apply that logic to Bill Clinton, which would also incentivize Joe Biden and Barack Obama, and honestly, George Bush too, because they're all buddies, to destroy.
Wait, where do you think this painting? Where do you think this painting came from?
Exactly.
That came from the island. That was in Jeffrey.
It came from the island.
Epstein's.
Yeah, but who commissioned the painting? Where did it come from?
Yeah. Stop. My bias told me that there's a blue painting of Clinton, and that mean he pedophile. Okay, what that means. I don't know anything else. I'm comfortable with the information I have, and that's it. Stop telling me new information. It's uncomfortable. It makes my brain hurt. Made Tectone's head got red yesterday. Well, actually, I was getting my stream ready, and I listened to Destiny and Tectone, who's a big right-wing Twitch gamer streamer thing. His fucking forehead turned red from Destiny throwing facts at him for 2 minutes. Because it wasn't a whole lot of debate there. It was more just conversation between those two. I thought it was going to be some debate, but it was conversation. But you made Tectone's brain hurt a little bit from facts, and that happens with MAGA. They get confused, and it's too much at once.
And there's way more of a connection. So applying your Trump logic of,
I am literally 32 years old, Michelle. I am not. Is that almost 40? It's 32, and I just turned 32 a month ago, less than a month ago. Is that almost 40? Making and changing your voice. Trump does it, and he's like 80 years old, and he's the president of the United States. You think you're gonna hold me to a standard of Trump? You got your fucking mind. Also, I don't fuck kids. Sorry.
Just a connection is apparently enough to jump to the conclusion that he's, presumably you think he's
Oh, sorry. Hold on. I'll go back to being young again. My bad.
Doing nefarious.
I'll go back to being young again. Sorry. Hold on. My bad. Here you go. Aren't you almost 40? Yeah, fucking ass.
Activities, then you would have to apply that logic to Bill
Guys,
Clinton,
now I'm
which
young.
would also incentivize Joe Biden.
Now MAGA can say, Merc, you're young. You don't know what you're talking about.
Action is apparently enough to jump to the conclusion that he's, presumably you think he's doing nefarious activities.
Merc, you're too young to know what's going on.
Then you would have to apply that logic to Bill Clinton, which would also incentivize Joe Biden and Barack Obama, and honestly, George Bush too, because they're all buddies, to destroy.
Wait, where do you think this painting? Where do you think this painting came from?
That came from the island.
The
that
island.
Was in Jeffrey Epstein's.
Yeah, but who commissioned the painting? Where did it come from?
All important information.
I can't remember.
It was some random Australian artist painted this painting because she thought it was funny, making fun of Bill, and then apparently Epstein bought it and he showed it at his island. This wasn't made for Epstein. It wasn't made by Epstein, and it wasn't
So still okay.
Well, still, it exists, right? The painting is real, right?
Epstein was such good friends with Bill Clinton that he bought that painting, brought it to the island so that he could show Bill Clinton and have a laugh.
Is that what he bought it for?
Or it's just a funny painting because it's a painting of Bill Clinton in a dress on a chair pointing at somebody.
Okay, so again.
Right in the narrative. Damn, he's believed this for years. MAGA do. There are so many conspiracies that you have no idea. I bet you I bet you there's a good amount of my chat that are not, they oppose Trump, and you have for so long, and you had no idea about the blue Clinton dress probably. There's a whole lore around that with MAGA. Guys, and this is like copy and paste this times 100 for how many things they believe are real that is happening that you don't even know. Okay, because that's what they're told by Fox News, Newsmax, OAN, Charlie Kirk, Tim Pool, Benny Johnson, Joe Rogan, every day, nonstop, all day long, nonstop, all day, every day. Okay, that's what they're told. So Destiny is easily destroying this propaganda narrative that this dude's believed in about the Bill Clinton photo.
Brought it to the island so that he could show Bill Clinton and have a laugh.
Or it's just a funny painting because it's a painting of Bill Clinton in a dress on a chair pointing at somebody.
Okay, so again, Jeffrey Epstein was such good friends with Bill Clinton that he bought that
couldn't you
painting.
just buy this to make fun of somebody? Why would you have to be really good friends to buy a painting like this?
Because they were good friends. He was on the Lolita Express 27.
We've got wait, you acknowledge there's
He was on the Lolita Express.
more evidence that Epstein was good friends with Trump than he was with Bill Clinton. No?
No, I would not acknowledge that.
Why not?
I would say that that Bill Clinton was friends with Epstein at the height of his proclivities.
So in 2002, Trump told New York Magazine that Epstein was a terrific guy. That was in 2002.
Which was 2 years before anyone knew that he was a pedophile.
Oh, really?
Oh, okay. I thought that there were statements of Trump and everybody saying that they knew that he liked young girls and was kind of weird, but...
Ooh, got him again.
I think that maybe if there is a quote, young girl, like I could say about my friend that he likes young girls, and I'm...
Yo, what? Hey, yo, you can say what about your friend? Never would I ever, never ever. You can say what about your friend, yo?
Young girl, like I could say about my friend that he likes young girls, and
Okay, this guy, your friend needs to be on a list. But also, are you speaking for a friend? Is this one of those I'm speaking for a friend here?
I'm referring to like 20-year-olds, right? Like
20-year-olds.
I could be like, my buddy Paulie likes young girls.
You would call that a young woman. You don't call a 20-year-old a young girl. That's fucking weird. That's fucking weird. I wouldn't even call I would call a 18, 19, 20-year-old woman a young woman. Not a young girl. That is fucking weird. Actually weird. So, anyways, all of this is projection because MAGA is a bunch of pedophile freaks. Most of them, majority of them. They're into it. That's why they're so hyper focused on it, because that's their actual niche, is pedophilia. So that's what's going on here.
Right? Like I'm not talking about children.
I'm going back to being 40.
But
Okay.
I'm not. And
That's
that's
a lot of charity, but okay, yeah.
It might be a little bit of charity, but I think
almost
that
40.
you're maybe jumping to a conclusion.
And by the way, even when I am 40, you think I'm going to change? You think in 8 years I'm going to change, especially in this climate? I'm probably going to be worse. Okay? Especially since this is my platform. And like I try to go and hide. I do. We're playing Battlefield 6 in a little bit. You think that I'm going to come out of this like oh man, just the pinnacle of a standard of whatever that doesn't exist anymore? What do you think? I'm going to hold myself to a standard that no one else is? Maybe like in some places, I guess I will, just because like that's just what it is. But other than that, like the current president of the United States is a man-child, pedophile man-child, giving up all of our rights and liberties to billionaires. You think like living through that is going to make me somehow holier than thou? You out of your mind?
Another explanation. But either way, okay, so let me pin you down on this, right? The connection of Jeffrey Epstein with Bill Clinton, and there's allegedly like the other associates. There's like, if you go through the Epstein files, part 1, the binder files, whatever. I think that it's not a reasonable, or I think it's not arguing in good faith. Say every single person that was ever on that plane was a pedophile, right? I think.
No, that's what MAGA. Nope. Now you're backtracking. Wow, I wouldn't think it's fair to say that everybody on the plane would be a pedophile. That would be wrong. Nope, you can't use critical thinking now. You can't use nuanced critical thinking now when you've used blanket statements like they're all pedophiles, all of them. All of them. Anyone that went to the island. Everyone. I want all of them. Give me names. Give me names. That's MAGA's favorite. Names. And then when they get names and Trump's on there. Yeah, not that one, though. That one's fine. That name is okay. I want the names I want to hear. And I'm not hearing them.
Right? However, when you're on the plane 27 times and you're on the island itself and there's a painting of you in a dress in the building where they were doing the shady shit with the kids, I think that's more of a connection than a guy who...
When was the last time Bill Clinton met with Epstein?
I think it was in the 2000s.
2002 is when Epstein apparently met Bill Clinton for the last time. So that was the same time that Donald Trump said he was a terrific guy. You said in 2002 nobody knew yet. So why would Bill Clinton have known but Donald Trump wouldn't have?
Got him. Uh-oh. Explain it. Explain it.
So I don't know. You might have a good point there. Where are you getting that Clinton's last
I'm seeing Bill Clinton took 4 trips with staff on Epstein's private plane in 2002 and 2003 and then met with Epstein in New York in 2002.
There was 27. He was on there's 27.
Citing flight logs, U.S. media have reported Clinton flew on Epstein's jet up to 26 times, occasionally without his Secret Service detail. Yeah, but that's just on his plane. That's not even saying he was on there. And it doesn't say anything about him going to his island.
Yeah. No. I think you'd have
Nope. You just applied the logic that just because they're on the plane doesn't make them pedophiles. So then, therefore, are you not going to apply that to Bill Clinton on the plane? This is MAGA's world. Have you ever noticed that? MAGA has a world of lore, and then they drag everyone else into it, and then they're debated and like throwing facts, and then they like fizzle out, and they like freak out, like, oh, how dare! This is my world. It's supposed to be my narrative. What are you doing?
You'd have to go and look at the files, but
this is my story.
Pretty sure that there was confirmation that he was on the island.
I think he's been on the island, but I'm saying that like he didn't like take 26 or 27 trips to the island.
No, but even one. Donald Trump was never on the island. Donald Trump took the plane back and forth from Florida to New York a couple times, right? So he never went to the island. Clinton went to the island where the painting of Bill Clinton was. Like I'm saying,
if all
the painting
is true, then why wouldn't Donald Trump then just release all of the Epstein files for us to go through?
True.
This is true. There's evidence of all of this.
Because I just told you, Donald Trump only had control of the Epstein files if he was paying attention for 4 years. And
Cope harder. Oh, the cope is so delicious. See, Trump was busy. He was busy. He was doing other things, guys. You couldn't do anything with the Epstein files. He's a busy guy.
I don't think he was, but I think that what he did do was indict and arrest Jeffrey Epstein, which neither George Bush did actually, which neither Barack Obama or Joe Biden did.
Obama and Biden.
By your own logic, right? What I'm telling you is you have a stronger connection with Bill Clinton, right? Which would, by your own logic, lead to some nefarious intent.
I don't know what you're saying by my logic. That's just not the case.
Well, your logic is Donald Trump was friends with Jeffrey Epstein.
And knew that he was visiting his properties and knew that he was taking teenage workers and hiring them for himself. Yep. And then then Epstein said that he was best friends with Donald Trump for 10 years.
And that was back in the 1990s, okay?
Sure, and Donald Trump made Acosta, the guy that cut the sweetheart deal with Epstein, the prosecutor, he made him his Department of Labor secretary from 2017 to 2019. Just seems like a lot of weird connections,
Yeah, maybe he just didn't make the connection. Maybe he
didn't make the connection. He just hired him.
Acosta. But either way, what I'm saying is, your logic is you're alluding to nefarious intent because of a connection. So the only thing I did,
which is what MAGA. Didn't he just do that and say, well, Clinton was on the island, but Biden and Obama are connected to him through Democrat stuff. So therefore, Biden and Obama are also. Didn't he just do that? They're all MAGA is a hypocritical victimhood, pussy, bullshit, everything, all of it. Name it. They are that. The lowest IQ, room temperature IQ, no facts, all feelings, losers. They have nothing And even when they do come up with something, then they get shit on because then it's some lie that Charlie Kirk told them or something. And they're like off, and they can't debate it, and they want to go talk about something else.
No. To be clear, I'm not alluding to. You can be connected. I'll be honest. Like a lot of people, I'm sure, were connected with this guy because he was wealthy. But I'm just saying that the fact that Donald Trump has gone out of his way to have the FBI mark his involvement with Epstein, and then he's saying that they're not going to release anything about it. Now suddenly he's acting surprised. Everybody's so mad about it. He's saying, I don't know why we're even talking about the Epstein thing. Seems kind of weird.
This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. I'm using your own logic. Your own logic is you said Trump is all over the Epstein files. I clarified to you he's only in the Epstein files a couple of times. One, where he testified against Jeffrey Epstein. He was one of the people that put Jeffrey Epstein in jail. Bill Clinton didn't testify, right? But none of the other associates testified. Donald Trump was the only person that came out and testified against Jeffrey Epstein.
Never happened. Not once did that happen. Donald Trump's never done anything legally there. Never has that happened. That's a lie. That's a MAGA lie. They forced that one too. That one's a fit. That one, MAGA believes that Trump testified against Epstein. Never happened.
So there's that.
What case did he? When did he testify against Epstein? What is this about?
Oof. Uh-oh. That's the face when you're confronted with facts. Uh-oh. Shit, I wasn't prepared for this. Oh, fuck. Let me believe my beliefs. All right? I have the freedom of my speech to believe what I believe. I'm America. I can believe what I want. I choose to believe.
What's your arrest?
It was, I believe it was after the 2004 arrest. I believe it was after the underage prostitute. So
you said he testified in that criminal proceeding?
He testified again, I believe he gave a statement to the.
Oh, no, he gave a statement. Oh, see how it changes? Well, it says he gave a statement.
Authorities. He might not have actually testified.
Which he didn't do that either. That never happened. Didn't testify or give a statement.
Checked it. No, there was no testimony.
He gave testimony. I'm sorry. He gave testimony. He did not testify.
He gave testimony. He didn't give testimony. He gave testimony. If you say the word differently, that means it's different.
Testify.
It's MAGA. Dude, MAGA will go to every length of everything to cope. You guys don't get it, like, truly. I'm still showing you, and I know time is passing, and I know it's bad. It's bad.
And that's confirmed by the DOJ. The DOJ is.
Wait, gave testimony where? For what? I don't think this happened ever. I don't think he ever was interviewed or deposed or gave any statements about Epstein to any.
He did. I guarantee it.
I guarantee it. All right, show it.
I am 1,000% sure on this.
1,000% sure. All right, bet. Pull it up.
So, but Donald Trump is in the Epstein files as I'm sorry. When I said testify, it sounded like I meant in court. He was.
Where else do you testify?
Was interviewed by the DOJ.
Now he's been interviewed. Okay, so he testified. He gave some statements. Did I say testimony? I meant that he gave. What did he say? I meant actually.
Sorry, when I said testify, it sounded like I meant in court. He was interviewed.
He was interviewed. I meant to say he was interviewed. That's what I meant. That's the one. See if I get him on this one.
By the DOJ, and this is all.
That's their strat, guys. They don't know anything. MAGA is the least informed American in the country. Okay, they're the least informed. So he's throwing shit at the wall to see if he can get destiny on something because he's guessing. He has no fucking idea what he's talking about.
Public record. You can actually look up the testimony. He talks to the DOJ when they were investigating him.
I don't think this ever happened.
It didn't. Well, it did. I swear to God, it did. It was a testimony, interview statement.
Oh, I guarantee you it did.
Guarantee.
Okay. Let me ask here.
Let me ask Grok. Grok, help. Grokking something mid-debate is a new one.
Quickly look this up as well.
Nice, moderator, help him out.
Jeffrey Epstein.
I don't think it happens.
It absolutely.
By the way, that's my next move too. I'm gonna hang a rifle or two on my wall behind me. I've been looking at that. I've been like jealous of Destiny having multiple rifles behind him in his stream. And he has a shotgun, I believe, too. Yeah, I'm gonna get some behind me on my wall too here soon.
Epstein.
I don't think it happens.
So that way, if the Trump's federal government come to my apartment for some shit, it's like they already know what they're about to deal with if they come here.
It absolutely did. This internet appears to be offline. Get the f- out of here. I pay my bills. I'm on my computer, so.
Second Amendment.
What the fuck? No, it's not working.
Now his internet isn't working. Oh man, I hate when that happens. I hate when now the internet doesn't work and Grok isn't giving you the answer you want. Look at him. Look at his head's down, hat's covering his. Oh boy.
Quickly look this up as well.
Anyways.
Jeffrey.
Well, I get a Barrett. I don't. Why would I need a Barrett 50 cal? Why would I need that? I don't need that.
I don't think it.
I would get rifles and firearms that I would use, or like that would help.
Happens.
It absolutely did. This internet appears to be offline. Get the f- out of here. I pay my bills. I'm on my computer, so. What the fuck? No, it's not working. I'll just copy paste it. Give me 1 sec. But no.
Any y'all have any rifles or any firearms? What do y'all have? What do you have? Put in the comments what you got.
I'm 1,000% sure on this, so you guys can look up on your end. But
yeah, I'm not seeing anything, so it's hard to say.
Oof. I'm not seeing anything, so it's hard to say.
Is anyone in the chat confirming me?
Nope.
Chat, help. Chat, help. He's got no facts. He's in there phoning the AI, phoning the chat. He's like, who wants to be a millionaire? Just sitting up there using all the lifelines. Chat. Can anyone validate what I'm saying right now? This is wild.
What the fuck? No, it's not working.
Now y'all know why I chose just this is all, I mean, go watch the whole thing if you want to see this guy cooked for 2 hours straight, but like this is the best. This is all you really need to see to understand how this debate went.
I'll just copy paste it. Give me 1 sec. But
I'll just copy paste it from the AI because that's what you got to do.
I'm 1,000% sure on this, so you guys can look.
Grok Wolf, go look at the comments. Grok, find Bill Clinton Rule 34. The chat is so goddamn hilarious, dude.
Look up on your end, but
yeah, I'm not seeing anything, so it's hard to say.
Grok offline. He's asking AI. Of course he is.
Is anyone in the chat confirming me?
Nope, nobody else has found anything.
ChatGPT and says that.
Okay, right now from the Hill, President Trump. Oh, sorry, this is a new article. My bad.
Oh boy, it's like that time when I was debating the angry biker, the veteran biker, and he hit me with the "we send in F-16s," and I was like, well, actually, no, we're not sending any. It's Europe is. See, this is what I'm talking about, and he like freaked out and like rage quit the debate as soon as I threw a fact at him. There's one fact, because like that. I mean, honestly, in the debate with the veteran biker dude, whatever. I didn't research the border. I should have, but I was prepared for a Ukraine debate, and he hit me with a bunch of border bullshit. I did the best I could. I was in there. I was not equipped with like readily available facts about the border, other than what I've researched in the past. But I don't know if I did well there. But anyways, as soon as we got to the topic of what we were supposed to debate, which was Ukraine, and he hit me with one fact, which was that we were just sending everything over there, and we just sent it, and then I hit him like, well, hold on, actually, no, sorry, Denmark is sending the F-16s, we just have to approve them, and then he rage quit at that moment. Almost reminds you of like when I'm playing Madden football, like just yesterday, or every single time I play Madden, and I'm just shitting on the enemy, because that's what they are, they're the enemy in Madden, or football, or any football game. Madden sucks, but if they are on a different football game, I'd play it. Anyways, I'm beating them, and then they rage quit. Okay, because like I scored once and then they quit because they don't want me to score. That's basically MAGA.
Epstein grand jury testimony only contains two. Again, a new story. He's just all over.
He's in panic mode.
That's right. You said you were critically analyzing media, and you can see through the bullshit.
So
Earlier in the debate, he goes, I critically analyze media. I independently verify facts. I fact check myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I said all that. Yeah. Damn.
Trump gives interview. I get try interview.
Yeah, try that. Try interview. That keyword. Help.
All
chat. Help.
He was interviewed by the timeline of Trump and Epstein's relationship.
Right.
Actually, that's what I searched originally. Was Trump interviewed by DOJ about Epstein? It says there's no credible evidence or credible reporting indicating Donald Trump was interviewed by the Department of Justice concerning Jeffrey Epstein.
Should we look it up? Should we look it up ourselves? Just to humor this? Just to humor it? Did Trump testify? Because this is what Alex is using. Testify against Epstein. No, courtroom testimony by Trump. There's no record of Donald Trump testifying for or against Jeffrey Epstein in any criminal or civil proceeding. No indication of cooperation. Trump hasn't publicly sat for depositions or given sworn statements in any capacity against Epstein or his associates. No documents show him turning on Epstein. Well, there's plenty of documentation of their past association, which is their friendship, their falling out. There's no evidence he took the stand in any legal sense. He's remained more of a peripheral figure in related discussions and investigations. Trump and Epstein had ties in the past. They were friends in the late 1980s to the 1990s, appearing together in photos and social events. Here's your sources. Their relationship ended around the early 2000s. Trump has explained it was due to Epstein stealing employees from Mar-a-Lago, including young women, something Trump considered inappropriate. And he was taking Trump's young women from him. That wasn't the fact that the young women were there. It was the fact that Epstein was taking them from him, being encroaching on his business. Since Epstein's 2019 arrest and subsequent death, Trump's administration did push for more transparency around grand jury testimony. Yeah, so that way they can hide themselves from it. Cook the books. So, too long didn't read. No, Trump did not testify against Epstein. He wasn't a witness in any legal proceedings, and there's no record of him taking such action. If you're curious, I don't care about any other figure, ChatGPT. I'm good. I just asked for Trump. Thank you, though.
He absolutely was. I'm not even guessing on this. I'm not misremembering.
I think what you're thinking is because the DOJ interviewed Ghislaine Maxwell.
No.
Ghislaine. No. Nope, wrong. My facts are my facts.
I think it was the FBI.
Oh, was it now? Now it was the FBI. Okay, we'll figure this out together, I guess.
Let me give you a few minutes to look this up, and then
and then we're gonna move on. Destiny's eating chips. He's over there snacking on fucking chips or something. Let me just MAGA, where'd you go? MAGA in the chat, where'd you go, dude? I'm looking. You guys all left now. I knew they would. Didn't I say they would during the Newsom debate or the Newsom press conference? I said, hey, we're gonna watch a MAGA thing after this, and you guys can hear the MAGA opinion. Don't worry, fair and balanced. But a lot of y'all are gonna leave because it's gonna be bad.
Let's go to closing statements.
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, anyway, all right. Let's
move on. Let's move on. Hey, let's move on.
We'll be here for it. I can't.
Yeah, we'll be here forever.
Donald Trump agreed to participate. And this is from NBC News and Politico.
Yep.
Yes, Donald Trump agreed to participate in an interview with the FBI regarding. This is regarding the assassination tape.
Oh, damn it! Shit! Damn it! The wrong article. Here. This looks right. That's what MAGA does. That's what MAGA does. News until they need me, and then I got them because they know I can give them the news. They actually do know that. That's why they stick around. But beyond that, when they try to do it themselves, this is what they do. Let me find the thing that is going to tell me what I want to hear instead of what the actual truth is. Which sometimes can line up with things that are good news for you and your political beliefs. Like today, for example, Democrats are very happy because the news is like good for the fact that Newsom is fighting against Trump in a serious manner, and California is. So there you go. There's something sometimes where like your political leanings can line up with the news and how it's coming out because it's facts. It's when you like, oh, I'm a Democrat and I want my story, or like, well, I'll just use Democrats. They don't do this, but I'm a Democrat and I want only Democrat news. Well, what is Democrat news? Because like we just saw, like when Biden was president, you saw how that went, right? They all just absolutely just shit on him, and the Hollywood actors and they all got the guild and shit got to all work against Biden, and got him to drop out, right? How'd that go? That was fun, wasn't it? They all really worked together. They're all one team. Oh boy, that would never happen in the right wing and Trump. They try though. So like they have their influencers that'll flail and they'll call out Trump, but now the cabal of the GOP is not calling out Trump, and they won't. They'll do it after. And like they'll say, well, he's bad, but like only after they're out of the administration and they're like protected away from him, so that way he can't kill their family.
Attempt against him. Up against Epstein. Okay, regardless, I guess in order to move on so we're not sitting here Googling.
Can we change this guy's mind? No. And stop. No, you're not at this point in 2025, after three times people voted for Trump 3 times, you're not changing them. They will change themselves. And if they don't, it's over with. The opportunity to change like Trump voters was like 2016 to 2021, 2022, after COVID, and like you could give them maybe like I voted for him once in 2016. I always will admit it. I voted for him once because I was right wing Republican. Not anymore. But in 2020, there was maybe like one last chance to like if they voted for him and it didn't work out, then you could have brought him back, especially after January 6th, right? Like, hey, yo, that was pretty nuts. Hey. Try to subvert democracy and send supporters at the Capitol to physically stop the election. Man, that's pretty bad, huh? Some of them fell off at that point by themselves, or they were assisted or convinced. In 2025, there's no bringing them over. They have to do it themselves. And if you're looking to court MAGA, you're looking in the wrong spot. It's more so like the coalition you need to build with the people that are already going to vote against it, and not look to find new people. Okay, or people that would vote, but they weren't like satisfied with Kamala Harris, I guess, in the last one, or whatever. They just need more of a reason, which right now we have all the reasons. You know, in 2024, we had Biden. Biden was bringing the economy back. There wasn't really much drama. We had Gaza, and you have Russia's invasion of Ukraine, but those geopolitical, less so like directly affecting Americans. And so they got to cook. They got to make up lies about Biden and the economy.
Assume it's true because it is, but all right, fine. You know what? Assume it's not true. Just go with my original point. The connection of Bill Clinton is just as strong as the connection of Donald Trump. So my argument against you, which is essentially...
I thought you said that Bill Clinton was the stronger connection to Epstein with Bill Clinton was stronger than Trump. I thought that's what he said.
Using your own argument against yourself is that if you're going to say that incentive to delete evidence is because Trump is in the Epstein files, I'm telling you Bill Clinton is also in the Epstein files, right?
But if Bill Clinton and all them were incentivized to hide this, then Obama probably would have just deleted everything relating to Epstein, and so they never could have arrested him. And
well, that's what I'm saying. Well, he was arrested under Bush, right? So he was arrested under 2 Republicans. No Democrats.
Okay.
Right? He was
given, but people say he was given a sweetheart deal under Bush, didn't they?
He was, and I'm not. That's what I'm saying. That's why I kind of did that tongue in cheek.
I did that tongue in cheek.
So was it also tongue in cheek when Trump arrested him?
Oof.
No, what I'm saying is your logic. Trump. You said Trump.
You keep saying my logic, but you're not citing why I'm saying they have a close connection. There is no Epstein phone call saying he was personal best friends with Bill Clinton or Barack Obama or anybody else for 10 years, right?
Yeah, but Donald Trump, you're talking about 30 years ago, right? Or now it's more like 30.
I don't think Epstein became a pedophile when he turned like 58. I don't think he just like transformed into that.
Yes, but you would have to make a leap from the only evidence you have, with the only connection you have was Donald Trump used to be friends with Jeffrey Epstein, who's friends with a lot of people, right? These rich
He's friends with a lot of people.
People are friends with a lot of other rich people, and they're all in the same little social circles.
That's wow. Epstein was just friends with a lot of people. Trump was just like part of the lot of people that he was friends with.
Doesn't mean they know what's going on in their personal life. But then Jeffrey
Wow, you didn't know what was going on. Wow, this is the cope session.
Epstein was stealing girls from Donald Trump's employment, and Donald Trump kicked him out.
Hey, John, I voted for Tim Walz. He was the first Democrat I ever voted for, and he won. And I was so happy. That's why I was mad when Kamala lost, because I hate losing. So, like, I was happy about winning in Minnesota, and then losing federally, that one bothered me. It still does, obviously. That's why I'm still doing it. But, yeah, I hope that we get more tampons in the bathrooms for the young girls, actually, because they're in high school and shit, that get access to the care that they need while using the opposing team's locker room, which is the boys' room. Because you only have 2 locker rooms in a high school. If you ever went to public school, probably didn't though. You're probably homeschooled. So in public school, you got boys' locker room and you got a girls' locker room. And when an away team comes, what fucking locker room do you think they have to use to get ready for the game or whatever they're doing? They use the boys' locker room. Is there tampons in the fucking boys' locker room? No. So Tim Walz was like, well, let's change that. So that way when women, or actually, sorry, they're young girls in this situation, you can call them that, come to the schools to compete against the girls of the school, they have the healthcare needs that they need. But you guys, the tampon, he's giving boys tampons. You guys are all fucking morons. You're this dude. You're this guy right here. No facts, all feelings.
And cut ties with him. And then after Jeffrey Epstein was indicted for being involved with an underage hooker under Bush, right? Donald Trump was like, oh, I had no idea that guy was a creep. I cut ties with him, like a decade ago or 15 years ago, et cetera, et cetera. And then the women that were in the Epstein files, the only time Trump is mentioned, they are saying, I never saw Donald Trump do anything with Jeffrey Epstein.
Thank you, Gene.
Right? Never. I think that one of the women said, I'm not
a big fan of Dean. I'm gonna be honest. Sorry, Grunge. Not a fan, really.
Misremembering, but I think that they might have said that
too performative. Too performative. I like the other guy, the other kid that does it. Not Sisson. There's another one that he even partners with Dean sometimes. Who's the other kid that does it? Not Mockler. Mockler's good though. I like Mockler. The Parker. Parker is the real one. Parker is the actual one. I think Dean is performative. I'm not a fan really. Like Dean has good takes. He can cook sometimes, but I feel like Dean is closer to like a Hassan. Not yet though. He's not like full Hassan, like America deserved 9/11 yet. But like I can tell that he's more into the performance and Parker is better at like just focusing on the debate at hand.
And got a massage, or actually, I think there's like a photo of Bill Clinton.
Beasley also does good. Luke Beasley's good too.
Massage.
Just a quick fact check: the Bill Clinton. I'm sorry, you got me talking about Bill Clinton. The Jeffrey Epstein saying that the audio recording where he's saying that Trump was his best friend, that was recorded in 2017.
Where is that? What's that from?
My source is ChatGPT. It was recorded by Michael Wolff. But anyway.
I'm gonna finish my final point here, right? Because again, what I'm saying is the connection of friends with Jeffrey Epstein is evidence that you would have some incentive to destroy evidence, right? Would apply to
run faster.
Trump, like in your by your logic, but it would also apply to both Biden and Obama. The only difference is Biden and Obama didn't arrest Jeffrey Epstein, but Trump did. Biden and Obama didn't testify against.
If Ghislaine Maxwell gets released right now under Trump, would you agree that that's really bad and highly sus?
That would be absolutely horrible, and I've already made a public statement. I go,
that would be absolutely horrible. But would it stop you from voting for him? No. Or would Kamala Harris be better? No. Oh no. Oh well, no. If Trump pardons Maxwell, would you relook at that and say Kamala Harris would be better? No, absolutely not.
If she is going to roll over on everybody and give all of the evidence, at max, you should put her in a better facility, which she's already doing. So I think that it's already happening. At maximum, you put her in a better facility and maybe take some time off her sentence, maybe. But no, you do not let a sex trafficking madam go as a trade-off. And if he does that, you can screen record this because I am going to say it publicly. I will be so pissed off, and I will
be so mad. I will be so angry. I'll vote for him, though. Oh, hey, he runs in 2028, though. Hey, let's go. Trump third term Trump. Third term Trump, baby. 2028. I vote for him again, though. I write a tweet. I'll be mad. I'll be mad for like a day. And then Charlie Kirk will tell me to get over it.
This is absolute, right? You don't release people that harm children just because they rolled over on other people who harmed children. That will be that would.
Yeah, but you have no problem doing that to Obama and Biden, though, because of a connection to Bill Clinton. Who's your connection to that would be the photo that was already debunked. It was made by an Australian painter.
A big stain on his reputation in my eyes.
Okay.
So I don't think you should do that. I call balls and strikes even with Trump. I'm a super.
I call
fan
balls
of
and strikes.
If Donald Trump released Ghislaine Maxwell, would you say that voting for Kamala would have been better than voting for Donald Trump?
No.
Okay.
It just wouldn't.
I know.
Because I can't.
I know.
Because I wouldn't be able to justify this. I would say it's absolutely horrible.
It's all good. We know. It's all
good. We know.
But no, I mean, I think that if Kamala Harris was president right now, I think that we would be. I think that she would have let the tax cuts expire. I think that there would be. I think that the wars in both countries would actually be worse than they are right now. I don't think that anybody in Iran. I think Iran wouldn't even deal with her because she's a woman. I don't think that you can have Muslims negotiating with women presidents. I don't think they're going to do it. So I don't think that she would have been able to pull off Operation Midnight Hammer. But anyway, I know we're going to.
What does being a woman have to do with Operation Midnight Hammer? Isn't that an example of Trump not being able to negotiate with Iran?
Ooh,
Let's go to
yeah, help him, Alex. Help him, Alex. Help.
Because Muslims don't view women as equals. That was my point.
Well, they don't view Trump as an equal either, because apparently they didn't negotiate with him as well. So
they didn't have to.
Let's jump to closing statements. We're going on.
Help! Get him out.
2.5 hours. So
I'm definitely tired.
Let's.
I'm definitely tired. Yeah, tired of getting cooked.
Yeah. So yeah. All right. So to finish. All right. So.
That's how it goes every time. Only every time. If someone like me can debate these losers and I don't have any debate experience at all, they're gonna get cooked. Yeah, they're gonna get cooked. I'm not really like a big debate fan anymore though. It's like kind of coming redundant. Nice, iced out.
My heart's so cold, I think I'm done with ice. Birds, if I leave her, she gon' die.
Guys, this is the Homeland Security account. Actual Homeland Security account.
I'm done with ice. Birds, if I leave her, she gon' die. I done with life. Okay, better not pull up with no knife, cause I bring guns to fight. Say you got that sack, I got that sack, but ain't no ones of mine. Nope. My little say I'm getting too booed. I don't even like dubs of mine. Alright, what I look like with all them 20s. Know them like how I'm coming. Yeah, what I look like with all this money. I look having all these. When I crack a smile, white gold. Bling. Yeah, I'm talking diamonds, bro.
Oh my god, bro.
Yeah. Came from the bottom, toes. Yeah, back in, baby. 100. That what they pay me a show. Let's go. There's probably some cap in my rap by the time.
Okay, one, using DaBaby is crazy. I think he's came back, but he was canceled for a bit. But anyways, taxpayer dollars going to a brand new Ford pickup. Nice. So your taxpayer dollars, and then the money's gloating about having all this money and shit. Crazy. There you go. Burr. Burr. Zoran has 23% support of conservative voters. Nice. I like to see that. Thank you. Is that Proud Boys? At this point, it's all one giant fascist thing. Reporter, what's going on with those posts on X that are clearly trolling the president?
Thank you, everyone. We are out of time.
Can you react to what's going on with those posts on X that are clearly trolling Can you just talk about that? Is that like a strategy?
I don't know. I hope it's a wake-up call to the President of the United States. I'm sort of following his example. If you've got issues with what I'm putting out, you sure as hell should have concerns about what he's putting out as president.
Literally. Media, you forgot. Just because Trump normalized his craziness, so then when someone else does it. So anyway, I started licking. Lick harder. MAGA, both the same side that will argue for smaller government. I want the government to be like 10 people. No bureaucracy. But I also want the government to have thousands of foot soldiers to deport people. Every day. It's only every day they're like that. Hey, did they ever take a day off? Nope. Pathetic attempt at bullying. Oh, don't worry, guys. ICE, the feds got someone in D.C. for serious crime. We had our first serious crime because the feds are patrolling the streets of D.C. Number one, they're in Georgetown, which, you know, I'm not from Washington, D.C. I'm not from that part. I don't really know the East Coast like that, but like when I was in D.C., Georgetown is like away. I don't know. It's like it's there, it's part of it, but like not. It's like in the outskirts of like. But it's. I mean, there's stuff to go to there. You know, they're like college kids and you can go party, you can go drink there. There's cool bars and stuff in Georgetown. Stuff to do. There's stuff to do, but like it's like a distance from like, you know, we're it's a distance away from the heart of DC, I guess. Could be, I don't know. I could be wrong. Maybe Georgetown is absolutely like, yeah, for sure DC. But I don't know. But where'd it go? We had our first crime against the feds, and Attorney General for U.S. Attorney for DC Gene Pirro said the man was caught. What was his crime? Throwing a Subway sandwich at one of the feds.
So President Trump has vowed to make D.C. safe and beautiful again. And as part of his effort to fight crime, he's bringing in our federal law enforcement partners like FBI, ATF, DEA, or Park Police, everybody to help the Metropolitan PD fight crime. And the president's message to the criminals was,
the one thing that I learned in this video is that one, I cannot run ICE and I'm not fast, because this dude is running not fast at all, and like they like barely catch up to him. This guy is running up and down instead of forward.
PD fight crime.
A lot of dudes run like that. I don't get it. Like you run, but like your motion is you're just going up and down and like barely moving forward. You got to put your head down and fucking run. Put your head down and go. A lot of dudes run up. Like you're not going anywhere. Yeah, you're moving, but like, you know, you're not getting there. You got to get there.
Metropolitan PD fight crime. And the president's message to the criminals was,
I cannot run ICE. I cannot run them easily, dude. Hell yeah.
If you spit, we hit.
Oh.
Well, we didn't quite do that the other night when an individual went up to one of the federal law enforcement officers and started jumping up and down, screaming at him, berating him, yelling at him. And then he took a Subway sandwich about this big and took it and threw it at the officer. He thought it was funny. Well, he doesn't think it's funny today because we charged him with a felony, assault on a police officer. And we're going to back the police to the hilt. So there, stick your Subway sandwich somewhere else.
Not the arms. I hate it here. Okay, I just want that to be known. That we're living in hell. Yeah, we are living in hell. I don't know what layer of hell we're in. I don't know why we got here or what we did to get here, but we're all here. Okay, we're here. I mean, Battlefield's back. Okay. Battlefield is back. And I was up playing it. Look at that. I was up. Where were y'all at 3:30 in the morning? Where all my chatters at? And by the way, I need y'all to come to my gaming channel and come hang out. I know y'all are busy and watching 18,000 streams of the same news. Come watch Battlefield. Is he as worried about carjacking as he? Mark Wade Mullen, I'm not joking when I say this. I drove on Washington, D.C. in my Jeep. Yes, I do drive myself, and I don't buckle up. You see, you don't wear your seatbelt? Not against the law? You sure a regular American would get a ticket? You'd have a fine if you don't wear your seatbelt while you're driving. What a weird thing to admit.
And by the way, I'm not joking when I say this. I drive around in Washington, D.C. in my Jeep, and yes, I do drive myself, and I don't buckle up. And the reason why I don't buckle up, and people can say whatever they want to, they can raise their eyebrows at me again, is because of carjacking. I don't want to be stuck in my vehicle when I need to exit in a hurry because I got a seatbelt around me. And I wear my seatbelt all the time, but in Washington, D.C., I do not because it is so prevalent of.
I don't wear my seatbelt. Conservative guys, this one never fails. Saw that thing on the news. Too many of those people there. Can't park Ford Super Duty. Not scared, bro. Spirit Halloween costume. You know, you could be a conservative guy. Afraid of cities. No, it truly doesn't. This is a forever meme. They can never beat this because they keep proving it. Meanwhile, Mark Wayne Mullen. Oh boy. Oh no. Oh no. Well, yeah, when we flat out, look at when it flats out completely, I mean the last bit of aid was at the end of 2024. Yeah. It needs to be like a straight line though. Like Europe needs to continue that. FYI, a bullet moving front to rear would leave blood blowback, not blood on the face. Notice there's no blood on his head. Oh. He was not shot at all. This is a blood capsule Bobby given to him by his Secretary of Education. I mean, he's the king. That's what I thought right away, was that Trump has experience in the WWE. And they do all fake shit there. None of it's real. And they all do performance stuff. So when that happened, I'm like, oh yeah, he faked that, staged. And then MAGA goes, well, a firefighter died. You think that means anything? Ashley Babbitt got shot at the January 6th. You think they care about killing your own? You guys like seeing Hassan on GQ? Fuck Elon. What's your prediction for tomorrow? Oh, we got Trump Alaska meeting tomorrow. I'm probably gonna be up with that tonight. I don't know. We'll see. You got Steve live with it now, but like, there's not really much to talk about yet. So you're gonna have Trump, JD Vance, Marco Rubio, Steve Witkoff, Scott Bessent, and then they're gonna be meeting with Putin, Lavrov, Ushakov, Andriy Bilasov, Anton Silinov, and Kirill Dmitriev. That's who's meeting tomorrow. With the U.S. Russian meeting in Alaska. Just the dumbest times. The dumbest of times, aren't we? Okay, Ford Fisher's in there. Let them do this to you. A man just yelled at National Guard troops patrolling D.C. These are your citizens. These are nice.
These are your own fucking citizens. These are homeless people. You guys are fucking crook. Don't let them do this to you. It's abusive to you, and now you are gonna get fucked when you're fucked up and you have to go to the VA and they cut all your services.
Exactly. The homeless people they're removing now, there's probably veterans in there. And then do you know how many homeless veterans there are out here? And then it's just, bro.
Refuse now. Do not do this. You have the obligation to refuse unlawful orders, okay?
4K's National Guardsmen begin to patrol DC. They're just literally patrolling it, dude.
Wrong thing to do. You have an obligation under the UCMJ not to follow illegal orders. To stop doing
That guy's holding it down out there. One person. One person? Protest on Saturday, though, by the way. Already coming. So we'll have protest coverage on Saturday in Minnesota.
These are your own fucking citizens. These are homeless people. You guys are fucking cruel. Don't let them do this to you. It's abusive to you, and now you are gonna get fucked when you're fucked up and you have to go to the VA and they cut all your services. Refuse now. Do not do this. You have an obligation to refuse unlawful orders. Okay?
That's a whole video. Okay. Boss drives by. We saw that clip. Here you go.
I'm not fucking.
Who are they going to arrest? And if anything, who the fuck wants to go and like go do tourism in DC? You got the military patrolling.
Nah, I'm gonna tell you.
Just this is so cooked. So fucking it's fucked. He's LARPing Dean Cain. He wrote that. He's LARPing President Trump. It's like college sophomore trying to take English 101. What's up with MAGA and Republicans calling back to like high school and college for everything? Only debating college students, calling back to like, what's up with that all the time? Yeah, you can't copy Trump. Trump signs a proclamation that mentions as part of the big, beautiful bill that a vast majority of our senior citizens are no longer paying taxes on Social Security. Hey, if you're a senior citizen, apparently you're not paying taxes on the Social Security benefits. Did you know that? Seniors that are watching, did you know that you're no longer paying taxes on that apparently? News to you probably, huh?
Thank you very much. I'm going to sign the new proclamation, please.
Sir, this is a proclamation both commemorating the 90th anniversary of the Social Security Act, the signing of the Social Security Act, and also the incredible accomplishments of your administration fixing and promoting and safeguarding Social Security. And it also obviously mentions the fact that as part of the One Big Beautiful Bill, a vast majority of our senior citizens are no longer paying taxes on their Social Security benefits as you promised in your campaign and as you delivered for the American people.
That's a big factor, isn't it? Huh?
Yes, sir.
That's a big factor when he needs to have the shit he's signing explained to him before he signs it. Democrats are spreading the narrative that we don't need the National Guard in DC because crime was down 30%, but then we heard those numbers might be inaccurate. Can you clear that up? Are those numbers correct? What?
There were some stories that Democrats were spreading the narrative. We don't need the National Guard in there because crime has gone down around 30%, 26% I think this past year and 35% the year before that. And then we heard those numbers might be inaccurate. They might be false. And some people were let go or they were suspended, right, Brian, from their jobs because of it. Can you clear that up for us? Are those numbers correct?
Yeah, these numbers are absolutely correct. And
So now the numbers are correct. Okay. President Trump is the exact same person in private as he is in public. Okay. Indeed, felony assault. I don't care. I don't care. Gavin Newsom will try to call a special session to overturn the will of the voters. I thought it was about democracy. It's not democracy. Oh, it's an oligarchy if Gavin Newsom does it, but not Texas.
2028 strategy. And so Gavin Newsom is going to try to call a special session to overturn the will of the voters. I thought it was all about democracy, right? It's not democracy. It's about
the amount of damage that Charlie Kirk is doing to young minds of conservatives needs to be studied with his haircut. And I don't know how, like, egghead, literally egghead, 6 head, forehead going fucking like wide right here. Wide right. What is that? But conservatives identify with that. Out here with the 6K gums. That's what I identify with. The hell is that? No, we have our country back, of course. Yeah, for sure, definitely. Okay, what is happening with Is there anything to even watch with Trump in Alaska right now? I don't know. I don't know how to just be talking about shit like if it's not happening yet. There's nothing really to mention with that. Trump deploys the military to DC. British Firework Championship. What, British Firework Championships?
Some Italian Vaculuzzo multi-break.
Meanwhile, in Britain,
fast-paced.
Wow, I wish we could do firework championships, but we have our federal government doing that instead.
5 different colored strobes and the full.
Wow, that looks fun. Remember when we used to have fun? Yeah. All right. I've had enough. Battlefield time. I'm done. For now. We'll be back later, though. Later or whenever for Trump in Alaska and also more with what's going on. Protests on Saturday. Brent Taroon, we watched. All right, y'all. Come over to my gaming channel, Mercado Gaming. It's Battlefield time. I don't know where the hell a lot of y'all have been. A lot of y'all have been busy with news, and I get it. But I miss you. We miss you guys. It would be cool to see you back here and there on the gaming channel. We'll be over there. Battlefield 6. It's about time. Thank you guys again. Thank you, Rock and Rant. Says Kirk accuses Democrats or Republicans are actually doing. Dems actually putting it on the ballot to be voted. Yeah, I only talk about Charlie Kirk when I'm making fun of him. There's nothing to analyze there. Nothing critical with Charlie Kirk to actually be like, oh, well, I need to take this guy seriously. Hassan is debating him. So Hassan can have fun. And honestly, Hassan might lose to Charlie Kirk because Hassan doesn't debate. And Charlie Kirk is a debate pedophile, so Charlie Kirk will be all into that. But come on over to the gaming channel, y'all. Scary Liberal, come on over, relax. Battlefield's fun to watch. It's chaos. It's a good game, actually. We'll be back with Mafia after the weekend because it's Battlefield weekend. Unless I just get absolutely tired of Battlefield, and then but I haven't yet, so. But Battlefield open beta is back. I stream it and play it, and it's fun, and you guys should come over and check it out. Okay? There I am. There's Battlefield 6 and us playing it. So come check it out. Thank you guys again for watching. You guys are awesome. Thank you for all the support on the channel. Thank you so much for supporting Mercado Media. Again, subscribe because we will have on-the-ground coverage on Saturday of the protests. Those have not changed at all. I might be on my gaming channel a little more often, but when it comes to on-the-ground stuff happening in my home state, I'm out there. So make sure you guys are locked in. We'll have coverage again tomorrow, probably longer coverage of Trump and Putin meeting. We got to figure out what time is best to start that stream because it's Alaska. They're 3 hours behind. And Alaska's 3 hours in the past, so it's 1:12 p.m. Right now it's 4:12 p.m. in my time in Minnesota, so I'll figure out when is the best time to do a stream and talk about it. It'd be a good time to give some Ukraine updates and push the fundraiser, which, by the way, guys, if you want to support Ukraine, you absolutely can through our latest campaign, Ready Drone 1. Yeah, Ready Drone 1 campaign. But, well, I hope you guys can help share this out tomorrow. We have a lot of donations coming in for it, which I love to see. Okay, already look at that, already at $400. Let's go, GGs. Already at 4, and we haven't really been talking. I mean, that's $400, and I have not been maining Ukraine content for sure. We've been maining U.S. news. So thank you to everybody for doing that. Just share it. If anything, share it to your Ukraine groups. Okay, share it to the groups of Ukraine and other people. You know, everyone puts their fund. Hey, can you share this fundraiser? Share my fundraiser. We got to do it now. Tell them to share our fundraiser. I haven't done one in a while, but I need everyone's help and support to continue to support Ukraine. So thank you guys again for doing that. Don't feel obligated to if you would like to. Same with Mercado Media. Thank you for the support. You're the best thing you can do for Mercado Media is just hit that like button, subscribe to the YouTube channel, share the stream with a friend or two, and I'll see you guys on Battlefield or tomorrow or later if breaking news happens. But I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.
$60.